Winners don't use drugs.
Hey, it's Saturday night. Tommy, Nate,
Week.
aka Space Lab X. How you guys doing?
Doing all right.
We'll be joined here in a little bit by Death by Saber and by Vigilante Williamson. Talking wrestling. Saturday night wrestling talk.
Oh, so we're bringing in a vigilante, huh? I like those guys. I like to have a lot of fun with them, drop some mustard gas on them, laughing gas on them. We can have fun all night. Bring the vigilantes on. I'm looking forward to this one.
Mustard gas sounds delicious right now.
He wants to drop two types of gas on him. Laughing and mustard.
Because
What if
one
they
is
cancel each
never
other out?
enough. One is never enough.
Drop crop dusting the vigilante is what he's hinting at.
Thank you guys for joining me. I'm doing another worst of the worst wrestling talk. Because sometimes the shitty parts of wrestling are better than are more fun to talk about than the good parts of wrestling.
Yes, they can be hilarious.
And we're going to be talking about wasted wrestling characters. Now, when I say wasted wrestling characters, Nate was like the Sandman? No, not wasted as in I had 12 beers. Wasted as in, give an example. Taz leaving ECW, going right to WWF, beating Kurt Angle in Madison Square Garden, his first night there, undefeated Kurt Angle, and then all of a sudden, baboosh, down the toilet. Or wasted as in that type of wasted. Not wasted as in Marty Jannetty, doing an 8-ball in a hotel room with a bunch of underage girls, not.
Wait, what?
Hey, he showed up. What's up, Jens?
Yeah. Sasha, sorry, Nate. Yeah. Okay, well,
Hey, Jens. How's
yeah.
it
What
going?
up, Jens?
Yeah. Well, don't be blaming me. You went, it'll be about 10 o'clock my time. So that's like about 3 o'clock my time, innit? So,
Who, me?
yeah.
I'm
So
not going
I
off.
was thinking, yeah.
I'm not going off.
15.
I said he showed up. I'm not being a dick. I'm glad he showed up. Thank you for
No,
showing up.
I'd have showed up on time if I'd have expected it to start at like 2:45 instead of like 3 o'clock.
I'm not on England time.
No. Well, what time is it there? 9:45.
It's exactly.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I say like,
time.
yeah, you was probably wanting to fucking slag me off, didn't you, for 15 minutes?
Oh, why the hell would I send you the invite if I wanted to fucking diss you?
Because Nave's here, and I know Nave don't like me.
What?
Why do you say
Where did
Nate
you get
don't like
that from?
Why do you say Nate don't like you?
Well, I hadn't seen you for a bit. I thought you was ignoring me.
I was sick.
No, well, it's nice to see you.
Are you feeling unloved by Nate? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, yeah, I was. Fucking.
This is the
had
first
more
time
time
I've
for
talked
them
to Nate.
nurses.
This is the first time I've talked to Nate in months too.
Yeah, well, he had more time for them nurses, didn't he, than us? So.
I don't blame him.
I wasn't. The nurses were not nice.
They weren't.
No,
Shit.
I wanted to take a shower one time, and I had just taken a shower the day before, and this nurse was like, "You can't take a shower." And I was like, "Why not? I want to." And she's like, "No, not in your condition." And everyone I know who's taken a shower in your condition has died. And I was like, I'm not gonna die.
Oh, okay.
And
Should
then,
have for a bed bath.
That
and then I
sounds
go
like
to
a dangerous shower.
So I was like, just give me the cords and I'll go in there. And she's like, fine, go ahead and die.
Fucking
Wow.
hell, yeah. Won't blow over the cuckoos, that sort of shit. Whatever their name was.
Ratchet. Nurse Ratchet.
Yeah, Nurse Ratchet.
And then when I was done, like an admin from the hospital came and talked to me and was saying that like I was harassing her. I was like, I wasn't harassing her.
Jesus.
And like, where's my hey, you are alive. Like, give me my props. for my shower.
Oh wait, hello, Clown World. How you doing, Clown World Review?
Clown World.
Good job you didn't need her assistance in the shower there, or it could have been a Me Too movement.
Yeah, she would have messed me up. She would have let me die.
Yeah, well, we're not going to mention no names because we don't want a lawsuit. But
No.
Wait,
Yeah, that's-
I don't know
And
her
you're-
name.
You're showing your face too, so.
oh
You're showing
yeah,
your
well,
face.
yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
That means that you're an easy target if you slander anybody.
Well, she
What's
can
up,
come at me.
PBS? How you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
How you
Tommy,
doing, man?
Nate,
Yeah,
and Jens. Hey, how you guys doing?
howdy.
Chilling.
Cool.
Hosting another wrestling talk, but Nate's talking about his health problems.
Oh man, that
No,
Nate's
that's
talking-
that's
Nate's
not
talking
the,
about nurses trying to kill him.
Yeah.
well,
The nurse switched his meds.
well, I don't know if you could top this, Nate, but towards the end of 2020, I had cancer, and then they operated and they cut it all out. So as of right now, I'm cancer free, but I'm pretty sure my lifespan has been shortened by that event. To see if you top that.
see what you've done. I wasn't even trying to do any of this.
You
No,
brought the whole.
Like I lied about medications.
You brought the whole stream down with your health talk,
Well,
Nate.
Yeah,
Don't listen to DBS. He eats so much ravioli that he's cutting his life short. Anyway, fucking cancer's only taking a few months off him.
it's my ravioli is like my crack cocaine.
Yeah. Oh, your waist shows it.
But it's
Yeah.
not even real ravioli. You're eating the fucking Chef Boyardee stuff by the
Still
can.
nice, though. Still
Oh,
nice.
that's
Bit of
the
meat
chef,
and pasta.
man. Don't diss the chef.
Yeah,
Yeah,
meat
I've been
pasta
to-
and tomato sauce always goes well.
I've been to fancy restaurants with overpriced ravioli. I've eaten the real thing, yes, but I like the can. I prefer the
But I'm
canned
I'm
ravioli.
not gonna lie, I do like the Chef Boyardee ravioli myself, but it's like what Elio's pizza is to takeout pizza.
I like to buy the big can that says that serves 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that one that you could beat someone to death with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had those. I was hoarding those in case of emergency. Never mind.
When
Yeah,
COVID
you-
started,
Yada yada yada. My parents gave them away, and I was like, dude, those were the most expensive ones.
Damn.
Yeah, the tins are usually for dog food.
There,
I usually that.
There's
they're
one
real big
guy-
tins.
there was a guy I was streaming 2 weeks ago that he says that he likes to open the can and eat it straight out of the can.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that you have to warm it up.
like Kramer.
No, you don't have to because it's already
Oh,
cooked.
man.
Isn't it? Well, you can warm it up, but it's already cooked, so you can
Yeah,
eat it out the can, which I've
Yeah,
done.
you're not
Yeah,
gonna
well-
get sick from eating it cold.
Yeah, no, it's a
Yeah,
fully
but it-
cooked product.
it tastes-
Yeah,
It
it's true.
tastes better warmed up. I agree, but eating it cold, if you're
Cold-
starving and
Cold
you haven't got a
pasta
microwave,
sucks. I don't like cold pasta. Cold pasta sucks.
oh, I don't mind. I like cold pasta. Like, yeah.
Slasher, do you add anything to your ravioli? The Chef Boyardee one, do you add anything?
No. What are you gonna add to it?
Okay, I don't add nothing because it's perfect the way it is. But
Yeah.
let me tell you, my father-in-law, he puts ranch on his.
Oh God damn it!
Oh,
That sounds fucking horrific.
He needs to be taken out back and whipped.
I almost had diarrhea just hearing that.
It's sick. I
What's
looked
up,
at him.
Margarita? How you doing? How you doing?
Yeah,
Al?
where is it?
Well,
Yeah, when I was over at his house and he likes the Chef Boyardee raviolis too, and he warmed up. He warmed me up a can. He's like, you want ranch on? Would you like some ranch?
Where the fuck's
I'm like,
ranch?
hell, fucking no.
Where the fuck's ranch? for the non-fucking American viewers.
It's salad dressing.
It's
Hey,
a ranch dressing.
It's that white salad dressing, like what is
Hey,
it, like blue
Ingo.
cheese?
You want a can?
Oh, man.
Tosses you a can of ravioli.
So, like sauerkraut, is it? Like,
No.
No, it's a salad
Closer to
dressing.
blue cheese.
Yeah, it's a
dressing.
salad dressing that's very close to blue cheese.
oh, right. Yeah, well, I can understand why people won't like it then, yeah. But I won't mind it. Be all right. I don't mind blue cheese. Because talking about cold pasta, you can get, like, pasta salads where it is cold.
Oh,
pasta.
pasta salad is a different story.
Yeah.
They-
No,
yeah.
it isn't. It's cold
No, it is.
pasta.
No, it is. No, but it is because they add like stuff
I think
that's not tomato sauce.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think he's
Yeah,
talking
it's
about like
cold.
your normal generic
Some-
pasta, like spaghetti. or
I'm basically not a
fettuccine.
fan of cold tomato sauce. Cold
Right.
Some
tomato
people put
sauce.
it. Some people put ranch dressing on their pizza.
Yeah,
I know
they
a
do.
mother. I know this sick fuck that
I
broke.
think it's gross.
He had a slice of pizza. This fucking sick motherfucker broke up a Hershey bar into the squares, and put it on his pizza and ate it.
He needs to be taken out back and whipped.
Oh, yeah,
too.
that was one of the weirdest, nastiest fucking things I've ever seen.
Once he's whipped, once he gets taken out back and whipped, this will correct his behavior.
What's up,
Speaking
cool?
of
GMC.
nastiest things you've
Oh,
ever seen, Slasher.
Vigilantes here. What's
Uh,
up,
Hey.
Vigilante? How you
A
doing,
bad Jim
Vigilante?
Booger
Hey.
promo.
Hey,
Vigilante Wiz here, another episode of Slash Twitter's channel.
Oh, look, I'm getting blasted with the fucking spam.
That's when you know you've made it.
Spamming me.
Blasted with the spam.
Privately date chat girls. You've made it.
Yeah.
at least you're not getting the spam that says, "Would you like to add 3 inches?"
Thank you, Ghouls, Monsters, and Castlevania RS for fucking this guy. Oh wait, no.
I think you may have accidentally got
No.
blocked.
Oh, son of a bitch.
You got hit in the crossfire, GMC. We still love
Sorry,
you.
I'm sorry, GMC.
Is there a way to unblock him? Oh, there is.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll go into the topic while I straighten this out.
Crossfire,
Yeah.
crossfire,
All
crossfire.
right,
Oh,
the
man, I
topic.
remember those things.
The topic is wasted wrestlers, and not wasted as in on too many drugs and drunk. Wasted as in this company had you and decided to shit all over you.
You know
Not-
who jumps to mind? And maybe this is not quite wasted because we still got some of it, but Test, man. I thought he was
Test?
going to be the shit. Like, you know what I mean? And
Like early tests.
early Test, and then
Yeah.
that Stephanie McMahon Triple H line, he just gets his bitch stole, and that's just the end of it. And that's it. And then
Get
he just
money.
he never gets up. He never gets back. And it's like, damn, I thought Test. I know it's not the biggest, but that's just the one that popped in my mind. Like, man, I thought Test. Maybe I was just a fan of Test. I thought he was going to be like, a world champion. Obviously, he did end up passing, but I thought he was going to be like a megastar.
He always looked like a Diesel clone to me.
I thought he was
Yeah, a
good.
little
Yeah, he
bit.
did. He did. He was kind of like a diesel clone. He even had the leather pants.
Yeah, he was. There was some of that.
And it always bothered me in Beyond the Mat that some indie wrestler was doing a move, and then he's like, "I'm going to steal that." That always bothered me, always. And I saw
Yeah.
it when it first came out.
Yeah, that's never good. I actually don't remember it, but that sucks. That's just one guy jumped in my mind. I'm sorry to take over. I know I just hopped in, but yeah, I thought Tess could have been more. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know, but I like Tess. He was a cool guy, and they just kind of make Carter.
He was supposed to marry Stephanie McMahon, but for some reason, I think he pissed off Vince McMahon or something, and then Triple H took that storyline.
I didn't
Yeah,
hear that. That's interesting.
He wasn't really supposed to marry Stephanie McMahon, dude.
Well,
No, but I mean, in the,
That was-
he means
that
the
was-
story though. He means
in the story.
Because Triple H wasn't supposed to marry her in real life. It was a story and then became real. Was what I heard.
Just like
Maybe it wasn't.
Pinocchio.
I say like the was going to get Tess to maybe Stephanie McMahon fancied Tess, and he wasn't too happy with the storyline or something.
All right,
then
GMC, I'm sorry if you got blocked. You got caught in a crossfire while I was getting rid of someone else. That was not on purpose. My bad, dude.
Yeah. And then he's pissed off Vince McMahon because he's basically said, "No, I don't want it out to do with your daughter." So
What?
then he's
Are you saying a wrestler pissed off Vince McMahon and he decided to punish them? Holy shit!
yeah, I know it's unheard of.
I've never heard that
that's what
before.
I'm thinking. And then because if you notice, Triple H went for that storyline, and then he just sort of like fucking made himself manager now, hasn't he?
I think maybe Tess was trying to pitch that he wanted to cut a promo. It's like, how about if I take Steph and I'm like, on our honeymoon, I'm gonna bang you harder than you got banged by Randy Savage. And that's so mad. Don't ever talk about him. Don't ever
Cream of the crop.
The cream pie of the crop.
Macho Man.
Oh man.
Oh yeah,
Cream of the crop. Yeah.
yeah. It could have been a fucking line about fucking Macho Man banging fucking.
You know, you can tell when you could tell when Test lost it though, when they put him in a fucking Speedo and they made him cut his hair. That was the killing point of just so many fucking wrestlers when they put them in a Speedo and cut their fucking hair. That was a recurring thing I noticed around that time.
Yeah,
In the ruthless aggression era.
Yeah, it was like the transition from attitude to ruthless aggression.
Everyone has to cut their hair. This long hair, pals. Not the 90s anymore. Cut your hair.
I remember my friend was saying, he's like, "Oh, I bet you Triple H is like, I have to be the only one with long hair."
Like
no, he made everyone else cut their hair.
I didn't think about Triple H getting. Man, you hear so many horror stories. It's funny because everyone loves, Triple H now. But you hear horror stories back in the day about what he was.
Fuck him, I don't.
Well, modern wrestling fans have taken to him because of NXT and things like that. Which I'm a casual at this point as far as the modern product.
Same here.
But I do sort of keep up with it. I like some of the stuff he's done, and even some of the stuff he's doing now that he's running it. But he was
as a backstage guy. Fuck him in the ring. Fuck him in the ring.
He was a shithead back in the day. He fucked up a lot of people's careers. He was the burial guy, the golden shovel.
His matches were boring as shit. His matches and his feuds were boring as shit too.
You people don't belong here, Booker T.
Yeah, that took me out of wrestling for a decade.
God.
No cap. When because you just knew, okay, he's gonna lose at WrestleMania. That's the whole point of him being an asshole. He was supposed to lose, and he's like, "Yeah, that doesn't work for me, brother. I'm gonna hit him with the pedigree, wait a half a minute, then pin him. That'll show black people." Like, what the fuck is this? What is this?
Take that, black people. Yeah.
I don't know what that was. Have you ever seen someone get hit with a finish, wait that long? You guys remember that?
No. Yeah.
Not
Triple H was on the ground like he got shot. and then decided to roll over on him. Yeah.
I never seen that before.
Yeah, they usually say with that move, who's ever getting pinned will usually kick out, and it's like, oh well, it's because he waited for like 10, 20 seconds.
They always kick out.
Well, there's that thing, isn't there, where some wrestlers will get punished if they do some like backstage or whatever, or whatever to piss off the fucking people who are like organizing the fucking storylines and that. So
but it was fucked up for them to do that to Booker T, because Booker T was one of the few guys who came over from the actual invasion that lasted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying he might have. I'm not saying he did. Because sometimes wrestlers, because I think Razor Ramon did some up, and then he had to get like a loss to the 1, 2, 3 kid who was like ex-Punk.
Well,
I thought it was his choice to lose to 1-2-3 Kid.
All right.
I
Well,
thought it was his
yeah,
choice. Yeah, they were friends.
Yeah,
right.
that's what I
Oh,
thought.
well,
But I
yeah.
get what your
Well,
premise is. They do get
Yeah.
punished, or maybe he did something and that's why they did it. I don't
You-
know that, but it still looked bad on TV, even if that
It's
was
called
TV.
going into business for yourself, and it's extremely frowned upon. Like it's almost like you don't want to do business with this person ever again because you don't trust what they'll do. They might go off just way too off and then ruin a bunch of stuff. Like, yeah, you don't go into business for yourself.
Yeah.
Well, Triple H was all about himself.
No, that's different. He politicked his way. He didn't like disobey a finish or something.
Triple
Yeah.
H didn't want to go over to Kurt Angle. He didn't want Kurt Angle to go over. Like, are you
Yeah, but
kidding
that's
me?
different, and you politic your way out of it. It's not like you like
Yeah.
sandbag and hold the guy down so there's no way he can kick out.
Kurt
Yeah.
Angle is 10 times the fucking wrestler that Triple H ever was.
Well,
ever was.
It's funny. As soon as you said that, I thought of the one example where you should do that, and that's if you're Sting fighting a completely drunken, drugged up Jeff Hardy. You
Jeff
should
Hardy.
absolutely put all your
Yeah.
weight down on him and pin him
We
and get
just
this
end that
back.
shit. End that shit ASAP.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, like there's one time every now and again you might need to do that if your guy is completely going off his ass.
I don't even know how he got in the ring. That was such a disappointing day.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
that was almost along the lines of the time that Scott Hall, where he had to get carried to the ring.
Ugh.
Did anyone ever see that Scott Hall documentary?
Is it one
No.
like an indie show? I think I
Yeah,
might have
yeah,
seen
just
it. Yeah.
he was coming out with Just Incredible.
Yeah, I did see it. It says some indie show. He ironically enough looks older there than closer to when he passed. He just looks like kind of bloated and just lit. And that was bad. That's not a good look. I feel for wrestlers, man. Their bodies go through so much. And it's like, okay, I know there's drugs and addiction, but a lot of that's just, I mean, I've taken a couple bumps. I couldn't imagine. I know.
You mean bumps in the ring, not
bumps in the ring, in a ring? Oh no, not
Yeah.
okay. I should have said that.
Not bumps in the locker room.
No, not those type of bumps. Not those. I've actually been in the ring. I know you've done indie wrestling, Space Lab. So
Like 20 years.
yeah, so you're like good at it, but like I don't know how you can do it. Like I don't know how anyone can just do it all the time. Even in the ring, it wasn't that bad. But it's just like, man, I can't imagine doing this like 30 or 40 times. You know what I mean? And off of a turnbuckle or anything. It's like I can't. Oh my god. Ow.
Well, I mean, part of it is training.
Yeah.
Part of it is like every once in a while we'll do a match that's like a charity show or something, and we'll right before we go out, they're like, "Don't kill yourselves."
Like, imagine having to be the guy that Yokozuna sits on. I don't want to be that guy.
I don't think that was that big of a squash. I think he hit it. I think he hit it pretty well.
I know, it just looked awful. You ever seen that one where he drops right on the guy's face? There's this one I've seen a lot of people tend to clip this, and they always end up putting it on Twitter. That one where he gets the guy's face, not his chest.
Oof.
Maybe he stiffed him, or he didn't listen to what he said.
What guy was going to stiff Yokozuna? Knowing that they had to get sat on.
That was his receipt. Is nuts in his mouth.
That seems unpleasant. Shit, I saw something at an indie show. This guy, I don't know. He thought he was in the Tokyo Dome. He hit this dude with like 3 straight power bombs, but they were like hard as fuck. Like not basically like him throwing him down with all the force he had.
This was recent, right?
Recent, yeah.
Yeah, he did it real quick too. He didn't do that one like Brock used to do where he'd have the guy's arms reach up, and then he did it like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what's the point of that? Like,
Oh,
CIA got somebody.
Kayfabe, because you ever see? I've been watching a few like repeats because I didn't see it live or out, but where Steve-O from Jackass and Chris
Umaga? Are you talking about when Umaga fucked him up?
Yeah, because
I
fucking
get that a little bit.
yeah, because
Steve-O
Steve-O,
deserved it. Steve-O deserved that. You don't fucking
yeah,
laugh at Umaga after he's supposed to fuck you up. He was
Right?
laughing. He was laughing, and Umaga gave his ass a receipt for laughing in the ring.
yeah.
That one I kind of get.
He dropped an elbow on Steve-O, and he said like he got knocked out and that. And when you see the elbow, it's a proper like UFC trying to like really injure him.
You gotta respect the business. That it's like, hey,
Yeah,
it's like for a shoot, Umaga, rest in peace, would beat the living dog shit out of Steve-O. So it's like, be respectful of that fact.
Okay, was Umaga a wasted character?
I don't think so.
He should have. I mean, he's not quite as he should have. I feel like he should have done a little bit more, but he was pretty cool and pretty well pushed for his era.
They
as well.
built him up. They built him the fuck up.
Yeah, that's.
But you know what? As far as Maga's concerned, I don't think he was a wasted character. Absolutely right, Vigilante. But he definitely was underutilized. I don't think that they used him to his full potential.
He became a jobber to the stars.
No, Tommy. He was talking about Umaga, not Maga.
Umaga basically became Kane quicker than Kane did. He became a jobber to the stars.
Yeah. And GMC is back from the dead. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah, I was contacting him on Twitter. I was like, I'm sorry, I fixed it. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, oh, I accidentally blocked it.
Yeah, no, you're not blocked anymore.
No, you're not blocked anymore.
But yeah,
you got caught in the crossfire trying to block a porn bot.
You want to talk about one of the most wasted characters, and this is it was a joke, really. Is when they brought out Tugboat or what was he in WCW?
Oh, of course, Shockmaster.
Shockmaster. That was the biggest waste, not only of money but time and effort to freaking try to put that new character over. What a joke that was!
Honestly, how much money
a basic stormtrooper mask? That's not a lot of money.
Yeah, a fur vest and a stormtrooper mask covered in glitter. I'd say 15.
That was
bucks.
For anybody outside of NWO and anybody that was not WWF that they were bringing over, that was a big waste of money for them.
Yeah, I guess for the time, because they weren't, WCW early days wasn't known for its production value. You know what I mean? It was.
Yeah, but that was part of its charm, though, man.
True.
But I tell you what was a waste, smashing through the wall, because that was probably the biggest sort of
expense. Yeah, that damn wall.
It inspired the Chris Jericho theme song when he came to the WWE.
Break the walls down. Yeah. Man. But that wasn't going to work even if he didn't fall over and look like a jackass.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Like,
when I caught him in WCW, I didn't get to catch that part of where he had the stormtrooper mask and the furry vest. They had already moved on, and they made him a fucking construction worker. When I saw him in WCW,
the whole men at work thing.
I don't know if he was part of a tag team at all, but he literally came out with the fucking hard hat and the jumpsuit.
Yeah, it was.
I think it might have been an inside joke of him crashing through a wall.
Lunch Bucket and Hard Hat were a great tag team.
Ham Sandwich and Monkey Wrench.
Oh man, you know what? Now that we're talking about big guys, I know one guy I do think was. I mean, maybe he wasn't too. Maybe it's similar to Umaga, where it's like, yeah, he was up there, but not quite where he should have been. Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yes.
Bam.
He's on my list.
WWF or WCW champion, was it?
No.
He was never.
No,
Wow.
the only ones who
Maybe with the Triad as a
he
tag
did
team.
he did get a tag team championship.
Tag team.
And I think when they had their weak ass hardcore belt too.
Yeah, he did have that hardcore belt.
Well,
in WCW.
didn't he also do something over in Japan as well?
Yeah, he did stuff in Japan at ECW. He won the world title.
He got belts.
He was ECW champion.
Yeah, he was.
He beat Shane Douglas. He was ECW.
He had some cool matches at ECW.
He had a
Him
lot
versus
of.
Taz.
Oh my god, him and Taz. Oh, holy shit!
Yeah, that was great.
Taz would chuck him like he was a bag of laundry.
That's when Taz was the shit. That I wish that Taz would have got to WWF. He was already broken up by the time he got there.
Such a waste.
That's not what
that's
happened.
another run. That's another one.
Okay.
Me and Slasher were
Smart me
talking
up.
about pretty recently. Vigilante. We were talking about what a waste Taz was when he went to
Such a
WWE.
waste.
It was just terrible. Like all the build up, all the hype for him. You know, the freaking the screen that they were putting up.
Yeah,
for him all
they
the
were
time,
doing
the
that
hype
thing.
Countdown.
It was the
Yeah,
same shit they were doing for Jericho. It was the
Yeah.
same
Yeah,
shit they were
and they
doing for
hyped
Jericho.
him, and they brought him out, and they started jobbing him out to people like Angle and shit. Well, actually,
did
no,
not
he
work.
did beat Angle
Yeah,
the
he
very
beat-
first
his
match that he
debut
came in,
match,
but
he beat
after that,
Angle.
yeah,
Yeah, it was all downhill.
Vin-
Yeah, they didn't push him.
Vince didn't
great.
like him because he was short. Vince found out too late. And
I
that's
also don't
once,
under-
once
What's
Vince
up?
found out he was short, he buried him.
What's good, Frank? Frank
Shit.
Buster. What's up, buddy?
That probably was it.
8-1-4.
Yeah.
But he did get injured pretty quick into his WWF run, right?
Yeah,
A couple years in.
and then that's
I
when he
don't
came.
think so.
Maybe three,
Yeah,
maybe
I
not
think
quick,
there
but
he
like
is.
by 2002 or 3, didn't he? hurt his
Well,
neck.
he got hurt at I think that WrestleMania where they had that stupid ass hardcore battle royal,
Oh, really? See, that's might.
and then he was out for a bit, and that's when he came back wearing like the gas station attendant outfit.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how true it is, but what I had heard is I heard that there was a lot of animosity from a lot of the performers in the back for the WWE at the time, and they didn't like that these ECW guys were coming into their company and just being given spots.
That's
So
what
I heard that there was a lot.
the Public Enemy. They got literally the shit beat out of them.
Public Enemy.
That was so. You look at it was so goofy, but it was so.
To be fair,
90s
though,
time.
but
They were in WCW, WWF, and ECW.
Yeah.
Public Enemy.
Yeah. And
Well,
I was saying, the reason I got the
My friend Frank wants to know, when does the Gangrel talk start?
Half an hour ago.
Oh man, Gangrel, yeah, Gangrel was definitely up there because they did so much for the Brood. And did Gangrel ever hold a title? Maybe Intercontinental or European?
No.
They made
But
the Brood
he
seem like the
sure-
coolest thing on earth and never did
They-
anything really with him. When you think
Well,
about
they
it.
used him as the springboard to freaking launch Edge and
Edge
Christian.
and
Which
Christian.
really, yeah, if you
And the
remember
Hardys.
when
Remember he was
Edge,
there with the new Brood.
yeah, but
Yeah,
you remember
Edge was-
like there was
yeah.
a huge
Forgot about that.
build up for Edge, like for months and months and months.
Yep.
Then he got injured early, and then they were building him up again, and they couldn't figure out what to do with Edge. That's why they threw him in with Gangrel to hopefully develop him more. Because when he first came in, he was pretty raw and he was very green. So they needed to put him in with somebody who was experienced to really, help him train and give him the ropes. Because those guys, the three of them, all traveled together up and down the road. So
Okay.
he is the one that actually got Edge where he needed to be to become a better performer. And that they basically just using Gangrel and his experience to jumpstart
Nice to
those
train
two's
Edge.
career. Yeah.
'Cause I remember that when Edge would just walk around the building in the background, like who is that and shit like that.
You think
Before
you know
he
me?
was on the
How
solo.
did
You
Ashley
only know what I
Lynn get-
want you to know.
Ashley Lynn,
Yeah.
how the hell did you get the? How did you get the link? Hello, Ashley Lynn.
What's up? What, did you not want me here?
No, how'd you get the link though?
Yeah.
DBS?
Yeah.
Are you talking wrestling? You down to talk wrestling?
Wrestling? I mean, I don't know.
This is
Yeah,
wrestling.
you want a few wrestling matches, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know wrestling.
It's a
I haven't
wrestling.
watched it in so long.
Slasher,
happened?
she's doing an Orange Cassidy impression.
What happened to DBS? Where'd he go?
I don't know. He sent me a link. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened either. He didn't let me know what happened. Anywho, this is a wrestling talk, Ashley. So if you got any wrestling to talk about,
I mean,
No?
no, I haven't really watched that shit in a long time.
okay.
My bad.
Who's
Gotcha.
your favorite wrestler?
Shawn Michaels.
The Undertaker.
Okay. So you're gonna say Shawn Michaels because he's such a sexy boy.
I was
No,
gonna get Cena.
no. Definitely the Undertaker. Stone Cold Steve Austin was my man back in the day, though.
Really? Did you think he was cute?
Yeah, I thought he was the man. I went and saw WrestleMania. WrestleMania is right around my birthday, and it was They were in a steel cage. It was Undertaker. I think it was Stone Cold.
Well, you know what? You're gonna lose your perception that Stone Cold and the Undertaker are the best. Because Shawn Michaels is rebranding. He's going to come out as the sexy trans boy. He's just a sexy trans, and that's going to be your man at that point forward.
Don't give them ideas. They already got characters like that in AEW. No disrespect, but.
Oh, are you talking about Sonny Kiss? Is that what you're
No.
talking?
Is he still there? Actually,
Sonny Kiss is a good wrestler, and Nia Rose. She's dangerous, and she's not.
Nate, I can't get past Sonny Kiss's gimmick. Sorry, can't do it.
I don't blame you. It is super flamboyant. No, I don't blame you at all. But I'm just saying,
if he didn't twerk, I would tolerate the rest. But you can't be twerking, bro. I'm sorry.
No,
you can't be doing your ass thing. You gotta lose that. I didn't like when Rikishi was doing the ass thing, man.
No,
I think that helped him back long term.
I don't understand why. Why did anyone like when he shoved his disgusting sumo ass? Like the crowd would like cheer like it was the greatest thing. I was
because
like,
it was fucking hilarious that these grown men were allowed.
I honestly didn't think it was hilarious. I thought it was like the whole thing of people were also. They loved when Vince McMahon would make people kiss his bare ass on them. I'm like, who wants to see a 70-year-old man get his ass kissed by another man?
I didn't like all the Rikishi stuff. Sometimes it was funny though. Sometimes it was really when you wanted to see them like get like they had done so much bullshit throughout the storyline. Like, no, it's time for you to pay the piper. Go kiss this dude's ass.
Fuck
you.
What was it called?
That'd be great when they was in the corner. They get somebody in the corner. Rikishi would just like put his ass right there. That was great.
Yeah, what was it called? Was it called the Stinky Bomb?
Stink
face.
The stink face.
The Stinky Bomb.
No, all right. It would have been one thing if he just put his ass there in someone's face. No, he didn't put his ass there. He grinded that shit.
And he hiked.
Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, Alec Baldwin here, straight shooter. I'm going to hit you first every single time. You're not even going to see it coming. But I know Vince McMahon personally, and believe me, the ass thing was all his. I gave him the idea a long time ago over a couple of packet of Splendas over at a Starbucks cafe, and he ran with it. And goddamn, it was beautiful. Carry on.
Shout out to Alec Baldwin.
Yeah,
no documentaries around him.
He knows about the straight shooting.
I was watching the Kevin. Who was it died when he was coming down from the rafter?
Owen Hart.
Yeah, that was crazy.
From now on, you only refer to him as the Nugget.
He is not a nugget.
He's not.
My son. One of my son's middle names is Owen after Owen Hart.
Enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
Owen Hart, who was the token white guy in the Nation of Domination.
He was
the Black Heart.
I always thought that was so funny when they just randomly threw him in the Nation of Domination.
I actually like that.
Once again, everybody talks about the Nation of Domination. Every time I heard that music play, the only thing I heard was Nation of Constipation. I swear, because that's what they look like every time they came out to the ring.
Didn't someone once refer to them as the Nation of Constipation on the mic?
I
think Bret Hart might. I think Bret Hart might have
in that blackface segment.
Yeah,
which also included Triple H, Vigilante.
Yeah, I do know about that segment. Luckily, X-Pac kind of saved that segment, but wasn't he Ken Shamrock and he kept saying
he was Mark Henry.
He was Mark Henry. That's right.
That's right. Mizark.
Yeah.
With the darkest of blackface.
Yeah, and Road Dogg was D'Lo, and he kept going up on the corner doing the shaky heads.
Oh God,
D'Lo,
now that
was
you
wasted
brought,
in WWF.
I was going to say, now you brought him up. He was wasted for a number of years, Mark Henry. God damn!
Yeah,
he didn't hit his stride until they made him. They made him the villain, and it was like, because that's what I do, and that's when he really got good.
When they made him such
a short run because it's the end of the poor guy's career. Like, why didn't you do this earlier?
They also built him up a lot of time, a lot of different times too. They built him up. They gave this guy so many fucking chances.
They gave him that big 10-year. They gave him a 10-year contract from the jump. It was nuts.
Yeah,
well, he was literally the world's strongest man.
Yeah, but
that's why.
could he? because his wrestling wasn't the greatest, apart from slamming people around.
Henny God, how you doing? I've never
Hey,
seen
Henny
you
God.
before in the chat. And yes, I
Yeah.
agree with you, Henny God. D'Lo Brown was the shit. Chest
Well,
protector
I'll
D'Lo
tell you
Brown.
what, D'Lo Brown.
we all
I
know
tell
what
you
happened
what,
there,
you know
though.
what, you could say a lot of things about D'Lo Brown, but that guy has got a big ass heart because when that shit happened with him and Draws, that accident, that paralyzed
Yeah.
Draws, he to this day is still regretful over that shit
Yeah.
happening, even though
Yeah.
it technically wasn't completely his fault.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, and Draws didn't protect himself well enough. I mean, he's still, it still haunts him to this day. So,
But
Yeah.
chest protector era D'Lo Brown was fucking awesome.
He was an awesome wrestler. I think
When
that
he
Draws
had-
incident is
when-
why he
when
never got
He was
pushed.
way better in TNA. He got to freak out with AJ Styles as his tag partner.
I know. I just have a fondness for when he used to use the chest protector and do the lowdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. My one of my good comedian friends in LA like called me on Facebook like 5 years ago, and he's like, "What up, Nate? It's D'Lo." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm at a party and D'Lo's here. I wanted to have him say hey." It's like, what? D'Lo's my second favorite wrestler. Number one is Too Cold Scorpio.
I remember you
oh
telling
God,
me
you know, for a second, I
Right.
got really worried, Nate, and I thought you were going to say Vincent. I got so scared.
that.
Soul Train Jones wasn't that bad.
What about Ice Train? Did you like Ice Train?
Ice Train.
I remember Ice Train. He was like he was huge, wasn't he? In a WCW,
He
a
was
big dude.
yeah, he was like basically like if you're gonna compare the look of him, he was Black Scott Norton.
Kinda.
Here's
He
an older
kinda
one. Here's
was.
an older one. Here's an older one. Was always meant to be a jobber. Let's see how many of you guys remember this one. Remember Special Delivery Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah, SD Jones.
SD Jones was one of
I
the
do remember SD Jones. Yeah,
SD Jones was the one jobber that got immortalized in the form of the LJN figures. I legit have somewhere in my house the SD Jones LJN action figure.
Nice. Those
That's dope.
those LJN dog figure action figures were dope for the time, but if you had a dog, you're doomed.
Yeah, I didn't. I was lucky. But
It's
I
like
was a
the
destructive
dog.
little kid, so I just smashed these things against the wall. And I would I would legit stand
wasn't a-
up and spike my wrestlers on the ring like a football.
Well, it wasn't only that if you had a dog or something like that. The problem with those LGN figures isn't they were that big vulcanized rubber shit. If you had them in a place that was not temperature controlled and it got warm, those legs would warp out of place and everything. And it was almost damn near impossible to be able to get them back in place again.
They get the jelly legs.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was horrible. It was worse than what was that, Stretch Armstrong? Like if he heated up too much, he developed holes all in his skin.
Oh,
The
man.
gel leaked
That
out.
was awesome.
The
To see
ring
what?
the ring was kind of a fragile piece of shit. It wasn't very. I mean, it was old
Yeah.
school plastic, but you know.
No,
You
tell me
know what?
more.
I have an intact ring out in my garage that
What,
I brought
the-
back from the
the-
house.
the
The
LGN one?
LGN, yeah, it's
Huh.
intact, dude.
I
The only
have
thing it's missing is
Intact.
the
Oh,
ropes
that's
because
what
the
you said.
ropes. The ropes.
I have one.
disintegrated.
I have one too, and I'm missing the ropes and the turnbuckles.
Yeah, I have all the turnbuckles. It was just the ropes. The ropes had disintegrated.
And
they
I have-
get all stretched out and shit.
And I have 3 sides of the steel cage.
Yeah. Man, Henny guy just put the person I was thinking Big Show.
Where?
No, down toward the bottom.
But Dude Love sucked.
No.
Dude,
Where
I
was
hated
Big
I
Show
hated
underrated
the Dude Love
and
stuff.
wasted?
I
You
feel
know what,
like
dude?
when they
you
bought
could
him
say-
over. Oh, go ahead.
You could say I'm sorry, Vigilante. I just want to get this out because it was an earlier comment real quick. I'm sorry. Dude Love sucked to a degree, yeah, but you know what? You can't tell me when he did the 3 different faces of Foley where all 3
In the
characters
Royal
that
Rumble?
shit, that
Where
shit
he-
wasn't hilarious.
That
That shit was
Dude Love was
hilarious.
a joke
Yeah.
gimmick. It wasn't supposed to be anything.
I know.
serious. It was a
I
guy
know, but
gimmick
I don't
from
like.
a guy.
I know.
who
I
had
don't like.
done-
I
But no,
don't
but
like.
Foley had done like death match stuff for like 50 or almost 15 years by that point, and he wants to do like a silly Dude Love.
All right, but also he had said that when Vince decided to bring him over as Mankind, that he saw that the original Mankind, not the "Have a nice day," not that
Which
name.
that was really
Origi-
Mick Foley. That wasn't Mankind. It's the fourth face of Foley, where he was just Mick Foley in a mask. I
He-
missed the original Mankind, where he was this disturbed.
Yeah, when he would go
fucked up character.
"Wee!" in the fucking
Yeah,
hair
rip
and
his
his
hair out and
fucking
shit.
hair out.
Vigilante. What was the rat's name?
I forgot the rat. I remember
George.
that. Oh shit! Yeah. I just remember the boiler room
Ben?
brawl and all that crazy shit.
I
I remember
remember
his feud with the Undertaker that era before he got tossed off the cage. I got a conspiracy theory about the cage.
Foley had said to Vince when the Mankind character was proposed, he was like, "Why don't I just be Cactus Jack?" Because it was very similar to Cactus Jack.
Gotta be Mankind, pal. But you know
We're gonna
what?
create superstars. Although he also wanted to change Vader's name. He didn't want Vader to come in as Vader.
Why do you have to be Vader, pal? Why can't you be the
Probably royalty.
Mastodon.
Yeah, that's what it was, Mastodon.
No, he was the Vader in WWF and Mastodon in WCW.
No, he was Vader in both.
No, he was Vader in both of them.
Well, if you remember when he first brought Foley in and he was going to do the Mankind, it wasn't even Mankind. It was something the Mutilator.
Mason the Mutilator.
Mason
the Mutilator.
I thought it was Mankind the Mutilator. That's what.
No, it was Mason the Mutilator.
It was Mason the Mutilator. Then it was Mankind the Mutilator. Then it was just Mankind. Just like it used to be Kane the Undertaker. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah, it was Kane. Yes, Kane the Undertaker.
At first, they were one.
Canadian Earthquake. Like before he was.
Did they have earthquakes in Canada?
Before he was Earthquake, he was Canadian Earthquake.
Is that a thing?
And then he went over to WCW and became the Shark.
Oh well, before he was the Shark, he was the Avalanche, and WWF was gonna get litigious. Sorry, they were gonna sue them over the name Avalanche because it was too similar to Earthquake. So then he became the Shark. Then he became John Tenta.
Yeah,
his real name.
He really missed out on being John Tentacruel. Pokemon was really picking up during that time.
Yeah, but they were already ripping off Mortal Kombat. They couldn't rip off 2 video games at that time.
Yeah.
Couldn't they?
They could have. I think it was just, that wasn't the era where you would do Pokemon. I think it was 2009 maybe.
So let's go into the Glacier talk because we were talking about the waste of. Before we started the stream, we were talking about the wastefulness of the Glacier character.
Finish him.
Into it. Peace
Have
out,
a good one,
Frank.
Have a good one.
Man, I thought Glacier was going to be cool. I actually thought he was cool as a kid, even then, but he just always little. Because back then, MMA hadn't really hit. So when people had the little martial arts gimmicks, it always was cool to me. I always used to like that shit. Whether it's him, Steve Blackman, the cat.
Blackman?
Was it the cat?
You like the cat?
Am I thinking of the cat? Am I thinking of the right guy?
Yes.
Ernest Miller? Yes.
Ernest Miller, yeah.
So you also like Eric Bischoff? Also karate?
No, I didn't like Eric Bischoff. Eric
So
Bischoff was too much. But Ernest, I don't know. He was funny. He was just fun with the little whatever the fuck he was doing. So I was a sucker for those gimmicks back then. Now you see it MMA, like none of that shit would work. Maybe Steve Blackman, but the rest of y'all getting fucked up with all that shit y'all doing.
What
I like
about
Steve
the old
Blackman.
What about old school wrestlers that were doing like the faux martial arts? You had like Mr. Fuji and Tanaka.
Ricky Steamboat,
yeah.
Ricky Steamboat would only do the poses though. He wasn't like roundhouse kicking people.
Yeah. He just wrestled, but
well, he had his headband too. Anyone remember when Ricky Steamboat was actually dressing like a dragon and spitting fire?
Yes, I do.
Oh man,
I do.
He had the fucking the dragon headdress.
Yeah, it was like a one man.
The parade, those parade dragons.
And then he had the long stick with like a flame.
Yeah. You remember now that you described? Yeah.
If I recall, that was a green thing.
And then I remember, all right, Vince McMahon, even as a little kid, used to try to insult my intelligence. This motherfucker. It's like, I'm a kid and I know better than what the fuck you're feeding me, Vince McMahon.
I'll tell you what, pal. You'll just take whatever I give you and you'll consume it.
I'm rewriting history. All right. So there was a point where Ricky Steamboat's gone to the NWA/WCW for a couple years. And then one Saturday morning, I'm watching wrestling WWF, and he comes back. Like, he's not wearing a mask. He's got this giant thing on his head, and he's got a torch. Like, the Dragon! Vince McMahon going, the Dragon! They don't say Ricky Steamboat at all. The Dragon! We've never seen the Dragon before. You've never seen the Dragon before? This motherfucker that was Intercontinental Champion like 2-3 years ago? You fucking asshole.
That used to piss me off when he would do that shit. He would act like this new character's actually new when he'd never been there before because he's not.
Ricky Steamboat's face was not covered. I can see clearly it's Ricky Steamboat. You're using the name The Dragon. He was Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Oh, Vince. Oh, Vincent Kennedy.
All right, so another example of this.
Vincent Kennedy molester.
When I started watching wrestling, the tag team champions was Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo. So Barry Windham leaves, gone to the NWA/WCW for a couple years. And then it's, I think, 89. Barry Windham comes back as the Widowmaker.
Yeah.
They made this guy a fucking badass. They made him just whip the shit out of people. They made him like he has no friends, like blah blah blah. He's just this bad. He has no manager. They built him up. All right. They also didn't call him Barry Windham at all. Vince McMahon decided to not call him Barry Windham at all. I'm like, I can clearly see this is Barry Windham. Anyway, they were building him up for a bit, and then all of a sudden he's gone. He's gone. I thought he was a wasted character. But what I found out was Barry Windham had left because his father and his brother got caught up in a counterfeiting scam. So he decided to just leave wrestling and deal with that shit. But I thought that was a wasted character. It's very short-lived.
You know what I felt was a wasted character, and this guy had already done things over in like WCW and a few of the other wrestling promotions. Was the one-man gang?
Yeah,
like they did not know what to do with him in WWE.
Wasn't he a team, the African
Yeah,
Dream?
and they made him into Hakeem, and they mixed him with they became the Twin Towers. Who was it that they partnered him with?
Boss Man.
Was it the Boss Man? Yeah.
He was just a big fat guy. I don't know.
He could actually move, though. He could actually move. When they allowed him to actually work, he could actually work, even for as big as he was.
What about Boss Man himself, man? He could actually move. Now, Boss Man,
Boss Man was one of the fastest fat guys I've ever seen in the ring. That motherfucker
he had a couple spots where he would just go so fucking fast. One where he goes outside the ring and does this shit. It was like,
the uppercut when the guy's hanging on the ropes and he slides out and does the uppercut. Yeah. Boss Man was also good for. Boss Man threw the greatest fake punches. I thought Boss Man threw the greatest looking fake punches.
Yeah.
Boss Man sold the best live hanging in pro wrestling I've ever
Holy
seen.
shit, right?
I hated when they did that.
That was crazy. And it was a shitty match. I remember that. I remember being mad the match was so shitty. And then they just hang him. Like, what the fuck? This is crazy.
I'm kind of curious. Did they ever sequester him about that supposed noose that was in that race car driver's garage?
Oh, Bubba Watson.
Oh, Jesus. It's funny. Bubba
was a big boss man.
Bubba Smollett.
Bubba Smollett for sure.
Big Boss Man had a nice fucking gimmick of his nightstick where he'd come down.
Yeah.
Looking menacing.
And they did that during
the post-match beatdown. The Saturday morning jobbers, when he would handcuff the guy to the post and beat the fuck out of him with the nightstick, that was awesome.
He's giving him the Rodney King. It's the Rodney King. No, you see that, McMahon? It's the Rodney King.
Yeah, they didn't do much with him. I mean, he was kind of a jobber to the stars ultimately. And yeah, Bam Bam Bigelow. We mentioned Bam Bam and Umaga.
Yeah, at least he was champion ECW.
He was.
At least he was
ECW
champion
gave him respect.
ECW.
Yeah.
And I'd say he had his best matches in ECW.
He probably did. He had some real cool matches
Probably.
in ECW.
Bam.
Nah, none of them were no one ever wasted them.
Unless you want to make an argument, maybe Andre could have held the belt longer than a day. Outside of that,
You know what?
Macho Man was
maybe
for
not
sure wasted.
I don't think Andre ever wanted to hold the belt because he wanted to go around the world.
No,
Yeah,
he'd actually said a couple times that he didn't really care about that so much. He cared about the business and going in there and performing and everything. But I mean, he was in bad shape throughout his entire career. And I mean, you could just see as the years went on, especially like when it came around WrestleMania time and they had to cart him out on that fake ring because he could hardly walk at that point anymore.
Yeah.
They at least made him a tag team champion.
Did Macho Man ever win a heavyweight championship anywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the 80s. He won in the 80s and the 90s. He won twice.
Both WCW and WWF. Yeah.
Yep.
He beat World Heavyweight Championship.
WrestleMania 4. He won WrestleMania 4 and then held it to WrestleMania 5 when the Mega Powers exploded.
He's a 2-time WWF champion.
Okay.
And
I don't.
Andre the Giant and all, he was doing films, wasn't he? Like
he did do films. He wrestled all over the world, so that's probably.
I can't think of anything other than the
Macho
Princess
Man or
Bride.
Andre?
He did the Princess Bride. That's all I could think of. What Andre
but that's why he didn't have the belt, because he was wanting to do more films. He did Princess Bride, but I think he was more interested in trying to do a film career than.
He did stuff. He did stuff in TV shows too. He would do spots like he was on The $1 Million Man. He was the Sasquatch.
Oh, that's right.
He was
Bigfoot. I forgot about that.
I gotta look that up.
But also, though, when he was still even when Vince Jr. took over and he's wrestling for WWF, they were still letting him go to Japan to wrestle for other companies.
Yeah. People forget WWF used to let people do that back in the day.
A lot.
They let Hulk Hogan do that in the 90s.
Yeah.
I think
all over the world.
I think a lot of those
too.
A lot of those guys like that, though, Vigilante, they were considered they weren't just like regular wrestlers on the roster. They were like premier guys. They were spectacles. Yeah, so they were spectacles. So they were spectacles. So they would go all over the place because if this guy is going through all these different corporations, he's a big star everywhere when he winds up having that spectacle in your arena. So that's why they would still let somebody like Andre just go wherever, because it keeps that mythos of him going.
Yeah, and this is not the internet era where everyone knows everything. So that kind of
that was more of it.
You get to promote your brand without having to be there. Like, okay, you go to Japan. So then if we go to Japan, they're like, oh, it's Andre. We'll go to see Andre because he was already here.
Yeah, like Andre was slammed several times before Hogan slammed him.
Yeah,
and
even by Hogan.
Yeah,
even
by Hogan. And that was all overseas, and that was all because
no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Showdown at Shea.
Yeah, Hogan did get him. Was it 80, 81 or something like that?
I think it was 80. Shea Stadium. They used to
have the powder blue outfit.
They used to have the Shea Stadium events, and Hogan was managed by Classy Freddie Blassie.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
and Andre was the bad guy. Andre was the good guy. Hogan was the heel, and Hogan slammed him. I think it was after the match though, but still, Hogan slammed him.
Did Bruiser ever slam him? Because I know Bruiser had.
I know Harley Race did. I think Stan Hansen might have. There was a clip that showed a bunch of people. I know there was one where Harley Race slams him outside the ring. That was probably also a Japan match.
Yeah, sounds like some Japan shit.
And then Harley Race is immediately grabbing his back, like, "Oh, what the fuck am I doing?"
Yeah, that's honestly one of the kind of things. Like, Japanese wrestling has been influencing American wrestling for a long time. They used to go over to Japan all the time back in the day.
I'll be back in a second. Just keep everyone keep going
back in the day. On that note, what did you guys think about Kai and Tai as kind of wasted talent, or did they max out because of Indeed and some of the other fun stuff. I feel
Taka
like
was the only one that I liked in Kai and Tai, and he was fine on his own.
I like Kai and Tai. You know what though?
I like the gimmick of with the Godzilla dubbing. I thought that was silly. I like that. I did not like I choppy your pee.
Yeah, I did like that. Was ridiculous. Some of that stuff was, and that's kind of what I mean. They got some of these dumb gimmicks. I almost wish Kai and Tai was in WCW, where they treated cruiserweights a little bit better, because I thought they were pretty cool in the ring. Now I sound like a modern day wrestler fan. Oh, the in ring weren't great. But
to a degree, WCW treated them better, but even then, they were still considered. They were never considered top tier talent.
Yeah, there was a ceiling.
Yeah, it was a shame. I think the only corporation that really pushed those type of guys up was ECW, and I think that was the reason why people started really paying attention to what was going on with some of these later guys like Rey Mysterio, Psychosis, and Juventud Guerrera. All those guys. I mean, if it wasn't for ECW, would some of these other corporations, these other companies like that, would they have even taken a look at those little guys?
Maybe not.
They already had the little guys. Steamboat was a little guy. They've had all sorts of little guys across time. And Rey Mysterio didn't start in WCW. I mean, in ECW. He started in Mexico and then was in WCW, but very little in ECW. But there was only a few high-flying guys in ECW that made a huge impact. RVD wasn't even one of them. It would be like Super Crazy or
I thought you were gonna say Eddie Guerrero because he was there for like a day.
No, yeah, I don't really count those guys as like even Billy Pillman, Pillman. I don't consider him ECW. Brian Pillman.
Fair.
He was only there like these cup of coffee guys.
Yeah. Same with Stone Cold. He's there a week.
Same with Stone Cold. That I don't consider those ECW guys. They went through it, but like, no, like that little guys have been getting respect for a long time, and it didn't. ECW didn't start that or get people hyped about it.
Well, I'm not saying they started it, but they're the ones that made it more noticeable by the way that they prominently displayed it. Because when you went to watch the WCW match or any of the other promotions, those were always lower card matches. They weren't towards the end of the night. They weren't premier matches. They never booked any of those early on like that.
Sorry, guys, I'm back.
All right, cool. We were talking about the cruiserweights because, like, I feel like WCW gave them You're right that there was a ceiling, like they weren't the late card matches, but they were be in the legit mid card later in the pay per view. It's time to start having some good match, and they did a good job. They gave them time to do what they did. They kept the ceiling on.
Conversations about the WCW cruiserweights. Sorry, I stepped out.
The conversation about cruiserweights in general. We were talking about, and you may have a good point that for the era, Steamboat, even Macho Man to an extent, where they were considered smaller guys. Macho Man coming off the top, that was high flying.
Shawn Michaels is not a fucking big guy.
Yeah, you're right. Shawn Michaels isn't huge.
Yeah, but he's not as short as like Rey Mysterio, which is where the whole thing was.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Rey Mysterio, Billy Kidman, those type of guys. That was the first time I had saw them with WCW. I'm being honest. I got onto ECW, but the first time it was like, oh man.
The first time I saw small guys was in WCW personally. Yeah. Like overall, a bunch of small and high flying guys. That was WCW, and then it was AAA, and then some of them started getting in WWF later.
Yeah.
But no, I just disagree that ECW kind of put on the smaller guy idea and made them more popular than anything else, I would assume.
They did. Well, because they pilfered ECW for the Benoits and Eddie Guerreros and Dean Malenkos of the world. And
what ECW was
he wasn't saying like that.
ECW was a breeding ground.
ECW that was more of a breeding ground overall. But I think his point was like, he was saying that basically the big companies saw ECW do it and copied it, which I think there's some truth because they copied a lot of stuff. But I think if I'm hearing Nate's point is like, hey, there was small guys in wrestling since forever. So this is new.
But he's also saying that since ECW was so popular with their small guys, it made Rey Mysterio bigger in WCW, which I strongly disagree with.
I think Rey Mysterio made himself bigger, just being Rey Mysterio.
Oh yeah, he got himself bigger.
Well, remember I would say, remember though, Vince McMahon hates any small dudes. So
Yeah.
I think he has to
Yeah.
get, like, shown, didn't he? Like, oh yeah, no, these can wrestle, these can pull in a crowd.
It seems the only smaller guy that he was in love with Shawn Michaels. It seems that's his small guy.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe a little bit, ironically enough, Bret Hart before they fell out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I would say Bret Hart's
even before Bret Hart, look at Piper. Piper wasn't extraordinarily huge.
Piper's small.
Nah, but Piper, once again, Piper wasn't as small as like your Eddie Guerrero or your Benoit or anything like that. Like as far as stature, he wasn't built. He wasn't built like a lot of those guys, but he was still like 6'1", 6'2". Yeah,
but your point wasn't about those kind of guys, was it? Your point was about smaller guys like Rey Mysterio, like
right. Well, no, my point was is ECW was a jumping off point for a lot of those guys being able to push back into the feds. I think if it wasn't for ECW pushing so much, because you look at the ECW roster in general, most of the guys that they had go through there were smaller guys. And you just look at people like Bubba Ray Dudley and all those guys. Those guys are right around the 6 foot mark or so. Because I've stood right next to them. I've seen how tall they are. They're not no 6'3", 6'4", whatever WWE is trying to claim. They're nowhere even near that tall. And all the guys in the ring with them were a lot shorter than them. They were a lot smaller guys, like people like Taz and all them. Those guys were small compared to all the normal guys that you would see in WCW, in WWF at the time. Because, I mean, even WCW back in that time, their moniker, this is where the big boys play. Because they were going after these big monsters most
slogan.
of them.
But you know, now I'm starting to
sort of listed as like 6 foot.
Where the big boys play, it sounds like what you'll hear the first night you're in prison. Like that's not
right. Oh man,
welcome to D Block, where the big boys play.
You right? Oh no, what did I do? No,
pass the jelly.
Getting my Dungeon of Doom.
Oh,
this sounds fun.
Spin the wheel, make the deal.
No, but I was gonna say, well, what about guys like? Because even Ricky Steamboat, like
he was
built, but he's not tall. You know what I mean?
Flair tall? Flair, what was Flair? What
Flair is probably 6 foot, even 6'1", maybe. He's not that big.
Flair ain't big, dude.
Another guy I'm trying to think. Oh my god, not who's Davey Boy Smith partner? That I can't think of.
Dynamite Kid.
He was also not small.
Yeah.
And there's other guys you could pick out. Like, oh, wait, in the 80s, there were a lot of guys that really were like not under 6 feet and under or around that mark.
I think Dynamite Kid suffered from, what do they call it? Napoleon complex.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy had some serious problems.
Which is why he roided up and became a fucking goon.
Yeah, Roy Rage is real, man. He
was an awesome fucking wrestler too, man. That dude was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So speaking around that era, you know who I think was wasted? S.A. Rios.
Oh man.
Are you serious with that?
Rios.
I think he was super high flying for the WWE's time. I mean, he just didn't speak English, but he was doing stuff that they were doing.
Did he bring Lita to the world?
That was what I was going to say. I think
that's where the introduction came in.
What credit I give him for is bringing Lita into the company.
You know what though? I used to play with S.A. Rios a lot on was it No Mercy? Because he had a cool ass moveset. He did a lot of cool shit.
He did a lot of. He had a great moveset.
The SmackDown game I had with him, he did have a good moveset.
He was a cool kid. I used to play with him a lot just because you back then there wasn't like ratings and shit. I mean there were, but it didn't matter. So it was just who could do the coolest shit. And I used to like playing with S.A. Rios.
Yeah, his move set was great. He had his look was fine or whatever. He didn't look like a lard lad or anything ridiculous.
Yeah,
but
like all right.
I think he could have been
a fat luchador, that was legit fucking great,
super porky,
super crazy,
super
crazy.
He was. I wouldn't consider super crazy fat.
He was
punchy.
Compared to the other cruisers. Yeah, but La Parka didn't do the crazy shit.
Yeah, but he was he was more of a heavyweight luchador, but he was.
I don't even understand why he was considered. Did they even consider him a cruiserweight?
Who, La Parka?
Yeah, I don't know if
I don't
they
think so.
I don't think so. He might have. I think he fought some of the like Mexican fighters, but I don't think he was a cruiserweight.
Yeah, I
Mexican
remember.
fighters.
I know I didn't fight it. I don't know what I'm saying. Mexican wrestlers. I don't know what I'm saying.
No, it just makes me think of like a Mexican Steve Blackman.
Which would probably be a cool gimmick. Shit. I like Steve Blackman's gimmick.
Who else did they have for the? What was that one? The Ultimo Dragon.
Ultimo Dragon.
Ultimo Dragon. I liked him.
I like Psychosis, Juventud,
Psychosis,
Billy Kidman.
I didn't like
favorite.
I didn't like Hoovy,
But he wasn't a luchador.
but I liked Psychosis.
Yeah, I liked Billy Kidman when he was skinny and sloppy. When he got to WWF and tried to gain muscle, I didn't like that Billy Kidman.
Yeah, I like Billy Kidman.
It's because they got all booed up with that girl who's way out of his league.
Yeah, he's like, it's time to hop on gear. It's time to hop on big boy stuff.
Who was that? Was it Keebler that he was hanging around with?
Tori Wilson.
Tori Wilson.
Oh,
He was married. They were married.
Mm-hmm. Way out of his league.
I get it though. If it was you might do the same thing. Like, I do whatever I can to keep her.
I mean, good score. I mean, he's not married to her anymore. But.
Yeah,
he isn't. They broke up.
So at what point did the little Chinese guy come with the box and say, "You are not ready for Tori Wilson"?
Oh man,
I believe it was a box too.
I mentioned him a couple times. Steve Blackman to me, man. I'm not saying he should have been world champion, and maybe he was what he was.
I like Steve Blackman.
I really liked him a lot.
He has a big fan base.
Yeah, because he was just one of those guys. He had a simple gimmick. He felt real.
He had a cool look too.
Yeah,
with the glow stick nunchucks.
No, I'm talking about like his the karate pants, the buzz cut, the always pissed off look on his face.
And then he had that 90s dance music he came out to, or whatever the fuck that was.
Dude, speaking of dance, speaking of see that vigilante, you just reminded me of something. You remember that guy? You remember Disco Inferno? There was that one guy that was supposed to be the German wrestler that he was always fighting with.
Alex Wright.
That's right. Wonder Kid. That's
Wonder Kid.
Yo, he was cool doing that damn dance.
He was a solid worker
swaggy
in the ring, though. And there's another guy that was truly wasted. Like his potential was wasted in WCW, I think.
Did you see what they turned him into, though, Tommy?
The Dancing Fool?
No, when they turned him into a skinhead named Berlin.
Oh
yeah.
And he brought in that guy, the Wall.
Berlin and the Wall.
Did you ever see that point of him, Tommy? That was like 9 days WCW.
Pretty bad stuff.
He wasn't really a skinhead. He was more of a Nazi.
Neo-Nazi, yeah. It was supposed to, I mean, they trying to invoke American History X a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That time. Oh, and then the curb stomp.
Yeah. But
Alex Wright
was a wrestling move. Yay!
Alex Wright, yeah. Even when they turned him into because he came in as like fucking, milquetoast baby face, Alex Wright, and then they started doing the asshole attitude thing with him, and he was good. He was good.
I'm surprised no rappers. That should be a TikTok dance now. That
Alex Wright. But you gotta have the music behind you. You can't dance to any other music.
Alex Wright, man. You know who's really underrated from WCW? I would say Swole from the No Limit Posse when they had that gimmick going on. And Lash LaRue.
Lash LaRue. Holy shit.
And don't forget Major Guns.
Major Guns, most definitely. Bang bang.
Remember when they turned Hugh Morris into what would they say called
Major Erection.
Hard-on, basically.
Erection.
Hard-on.
Yeah. General Erection.
Oh man. Is that the whatchamacallit era, the Russo era? Or is that
I think that was Russo.
That was the fucked up era where you couldn't
with
tell
the new blood.
Russo Bischoff or Russo and Bischoff.
Yeah, swerve, bro, swerve, bro.
I actually think that era is considered the PA post Arquette era.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh God.
All right. Here's someone who I truly believe was wasted, and it's after WCW shut down and WWF bought up all the contracts. They had this guy in for a little while during the invasion.
I know who you're gonna say.
He
Good
disappeared.
Jeez.
He disappeared.
Oh, my balls are so blue.
And then he comes back like a year later. Through vignettes, we get these vignettes. Sean O'Hare.
That's not what I thought you were going for.
That's who you thought?
Right, though. No, it's not. I thought you were going to say DDP. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
Jindrak and O'Hare.
Jindrak too, yeah.
Let him finish. Where's he going?
What they did with Sean O'Hare with the vignettes was they gave him like the like he's the guy who's gonna tell you what to do wrong and be like, hey, just live your life. Like they gave him these vignettes and like he came in, wrestled a couple matches. Then all of a sudden they decided to give Roddy Piper Roddy Piper as a manager, and then just fizzled. Everything just fizzled after that for that guy.
Sean O'Hare?
And Sean O'Hare was a fucking maniac. And that dude in WCW, watching his matches was one of the few highlights in those closing days of WCW because that dude was like...
You know who he reminds me of? Wardlow. Wardlow's a lot like him.
Yeah, I haven't watched AEW in a long time, so...
Wardlow's doing Swantons and Hurricane Ranas and stuff.
Instead, they pushed Chuck Palumbo and his partner, who eventually became gay lovers.
Hey, Chuck and Larry was a very popular film at the time.
Yeah. You know, talk about another guy. Talk about another guy who they gave 900 chances to. Fucking Billy Gunn. How many goddamn chances did they give?
That's Billy Gunn's fault at this point. I don't have any sympathy for him.
Yeah, well, that's how the Click kind of rolled, right? Lots of substance abuse. So, yeah.
Do you remember for some reason he came back as the one Billy Gunn?
I do remember the one.
He changed his music. Oh, gross. Oh, it's just bad time.
Oh, did Mark Jindrak have Batista's spot in Evolution? I don't remember.
He was supposed. I think he was supposed to have Randy Orton's spot.
In the Legacy or whatever?
In Evolution.
Evolution is a mystery. Lives inside a monkey tree. Calm down, Lemmy.
Jindrak wasn't
I don't
bad.
know where I am right now.
Jindrak wasn't bad. He was all right. I didn't think he was as good as Sean O'Hare, but they did bring in Jindrak though when he was he had a tag team partner, the guy who died.
It was O'Hare. No,
the other guy who died. Sean O'Hare died, but the other guy died. Who was the fucking guy that was tag team partners with Trevor Murdoch?
Ooh, I don't know.
Cade.
Garrison Cade?
That guy, yes. Thank you.
Jeez,
or Lance Cade.
I didn't know he died.
Yeah, he died a while ago.
Damn, a lot of those guys died. Steroids are a hell of a drug, man.
They're delicious.
Shit, apparently.
Put them on your breakfast toast.
Yes, Tori Wilson did end up banging A-Rod after divorcing Kidman.
Did she get a gift basket?
Probably.
That's Jeter who gave out the gift basket.
Jeter gave the gift basket?
Yeah.
They're all Yankees to me. They all look alike.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, those two look exactly alike. That's another can of worms.
Jindrak was supposed to have Batista or Orton's spot.
They had the same look. I think that's what it is. They had like the exact same look.
Yeah, they were both.
Except Jindrak had taller hair.
And
Dave Batista's mom was a prostitute.
And he went on to Mexico and became Marco Corleone.
Did he?
Yes. Billy I gotta say, Billy Gunn is still fucking jacked.
He is. And he is still wrestling in AEW. And he is not 58 years old.
He's not?
How old is he?
He's not 58? Are you serious? He's probably like 49.
His Sting is like 72.
No.
He might be.
I'm like fucking 47.
Yeah, maybe, something like that. He's not 40, 59.
No, yeah, because I'm sure he's like about 10 years older than me.
All right, you want to find out? I'll find out right now. How goddamn old Billy Gunn
I'm
is.
already on it. He's born in 63.
58. He's 58 fucking years old.
Yeah.
Good job, Billy Gunn.
Jesus. I know Flair just wrestled his last match and shit, but like, Jesus.
All right, but Flair has never looked like Billy Gunn in his fucking life ever.
No. But like, I'm
Flair,
talking about
Flair only wrestled his last match for the 50th time. Don't worry, there'll be another one.
No, it shouldn't. Oh,
well, I
listen.
apologize. That was my bad. I thought he was way younger.
I thought he was too, but like, yeah, man, 58. He looks great for that age, but still, should be taking bumps.
Fantastic.
Your spine has still been on Earth 58 years, regardless of how much muscle you have.
Ever
and
since
he has 2 kids, so you know he was knocking boots.
Yeah.
Ever since the late 90s, Ric Flair's looked like a deflated football. He has not looked good.
Or a hot dog that's in a convenience store.
Yeah.
Or on the rotisserie rack.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh man, how is Flair? I mean,
something a food would sell.
Thank God Flair's still alive, but like,
okay.
wow.
So not a wasted wrestler, but here's something I gotta say is a wasted opportunity. For when they brought Flair in, and they did not end up having a fucking WrestleMania match between Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan. As a little kid, I couldn't fucking believe that. I was like, how are you gonna bring in Ric Flair? Built him up like this, and him and Hogan are not going to have a WrestleMania match.
Well, you know why it never happened, right? It was because of Hogan. Hogan didn't want it to happen.
I heard it was Vince.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was Hogan.
But you're probably right. But why not? I thought Hogan would go over. You would think.
Maybe not. Maybe Hogan wanted to keep distance from anyone near him.
I heard something that they had, because they did have matches in WWF, but
like
not on television. Yeah. I heard that Vince wasn't a fan of the match.
That's what I heard too. Vince wasn't a fan of Ric Flair. That's not just the only. We've all heard the story about him and Macho Man doing it. Was a TV match, and him like, go do it again, and they redid the whole.
Oh yeah. I did hear that one recently.
So Vince didn't like Ric Flair. I think part of it is like Vince didn't feel like Ric Flair. It probably was a combination of both. Probably Hogan. I don't know if this story works for me, brother. Like, yeah, this guy's not really the guy I thought he was, pal.
That's lame though, because the story kind of writes itself, though. The story writes itself. You get the champion who's well known from the other company.
Remember, he was the real world champion.
If you know those other companies, at the time it wasn't that easy to know about them.
True. Every WWF fan at that time knew who the fuck Ric Flair was.
I don't think I did. I'm thinking about it. I don't think I did at the time.
I know I did.
I think that's something that only hardcore fans would have. Well, I don't know how I'm gonna say only hardcore fans.
I was probably about 10 years old.
You know, it depends on the region too, because like everything wasn't broadcast everywhere. I think
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Not everybody would know about.
But
if you didn't have cable, you weren't seeing WCW.
I hope that's not true, Shifty Gizm. I hope that's not true.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I heard him say that too. And I had a bet riding on it before. No, before he had his last match, I had a bet that he would wrestle again.
Oh God.
So I'm rooting for this.
Oh no.
Even though he passed out twice and maybe had a heart attack.
No, please.
Hey, Teddy Long said in the 80s Ric Flair dropped M-bomb on him. So
that's true. That's true.
So since then, I've been suspect of Flair.
I see. You know, Shifty Gizm does have a good point. The fucking program we got was pretty good with him and Savage.
It was, but I think they definitely should have did the Hogan one first.
You know what? It puts me in mind of like not getting Austin Hogan, and they did the same thing. It's like, okay, we can't have him with the top guy. Let's have him with the second best guy. And still can't have him with Stone Cold, even though
also, wasn't this around the time of Hogan trying to dabble in Hollywood too?
Hogan's been trying to dabble in Hollywood since the 80s, brother. He's in Rocky 3.
I mean, during
He was going hardcore.
He means the Mr. Mom days.
the Mr. Nanny and Suburban
What was
Commando.
that? Yeah, Suburban Commando. That's the one.
Suburban Commando.
Jesus,
Yeah.
H.
This probably was around that era. And then remember, what was it? Thunder in Paradise when he got to WCW.
Thunder in Paradise. Yeah. Oh, Night Boat, basically.
Night Boat, yeah,
Night
all
Boat.
this weird shit.
Night Boat was the crime-solving boat from The Simpsons.
Yeah, and Hogan
and
Hogan decided to make a TV show out of it.
Oh, they were just recently selling the Thunder in Paradise boat. I don't know if they sold it. It was this year.
Oh man!
And I was thinking the Bucks were going to buy it because they're big old marks.
All right.
I have a question since you mentioned the Bucks. Are you follow modern wrestling? Probably, I'm assuming you do. You follow the AEW stuff. What do you think about all the craziness going on with the Bucks, CM Punk, everything?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I think CM Punk has an ego, and he has a history of having an ego, and he needs to go. Bucks and Omega, just firm warning and just keep it moving. Like I would dump CM Punk in a heartbeat. Well, like, I know he brings in a lot, and Tony's a mark.
Punk a bigger draw though,
huh?
Isn't CM Punk a bigger draw, bigger name?
He was for 5 minutes.
He was, but he's not now. You know what I mean? People aren't actually watching because of him, or he didn't bring that much to the table after the first few weeks.
When he left, he got injured recently, and the ratings barely dipped. Like it's not that big of a deal anymore. But like he is an overall bigger draw than those three, but he's poison in your locker room. But he did it in ROH. He did it in WWE.
True,
and he's doing it here.
But they're not innocent either. Yeah, he definitely did in WWE. That's why he fucking left. But like, I think it's a combination of both because it's like they've been the EVPs. And there's been a lot of people they have a lot of people on their roster who they don't use or they don't use well.
Look good for
they don't have a lot of time.
I think it doesn't look good for either side. The Bucks and Omega don't look good, and Punk doesn't look good out of the whole Punk thing.
Talk of Punk going back to WWE.
There's no way he will never go back.
Especially now with Triple H in charge.
15 feet in the ground for
Triple H was the one that sent him the letter on his wedding day to fire him.
Well, here's the thing. WWE, I don't know if Triple H, because he's new at the job. DBS. Hey, DBS. But WWE.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm back.
Oh, no worries, man. No worries. We're glad to have you back. But WWE has a reputation, at least in the past, of like, okay, no matter what happened, we'll bring you back. Now, we might fuck you when we book you, but we'll bring you back if the money's right. I think it's a bigger deal.
It always depended on the money, yeah.
I've heard that Triple H is the one to mend fences. I've heard that Triple H.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
I've heard that he's the one who reached out to Ultimate Warrior. I heard he's the one who reached out to Bruno Sammartino. I have heard that. So as a backstage guy, he sounds decent.
But this specifically was him doing it to Punk when he sent that letter out.
So I mean. I think Triple H will say, hey, you know what? That was fucked up on my part. But will Punk forgive him with his ego? Probably not. That's the thing.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of they know the score. They're like, no, it's business. If fucking Triple H says to CM Punk, right, we'll give you a bit of a payday, sort of, if CM Punk won't say no.
I think CM Punk needs his own dick surgically removed from his mouth because his
ego's so big. Who knows?
He thinks he's the fucking second coming, bro.
Yeah,
he's a lightweight. He's a lightweight.
Shit, he ain't shit.
Is it just me, or does CM Punk kind of remind you of a smaller version of Brock Lesnar with the attitude?
I get all right. You know what? Though?
I get Brock's attitude.
You're right.
Yeah.
You are right. But
Brock
I think
was doing
Brock
shooting stars.
I think Brock deserves better. I think Brock deserves better than fucking CM Punk does. You are right though about that.
And Brock has probably calmed down in his older age compared to Punk. Like I don't think Brock is as bad as he was when he was younger.
He went to the UFC, didn't he? And won.
Yeah.
Yeah, unlike CM Punk who went to the UFC and embarrassed the fuck out of himself.
Yeah. Well, I saw like this shoot interview. I don't know exactly who it was filmed, but it was Rob Van Dam, and he was saying basically CM Punk is believing his own hype.
Yeah, he has Bret
Oh,
Hart.
yeah.
He has Bret Hartitis.
Oh
and
man,
he's a poison to the locker room.
Even though I do, even though I do like Bret Hart. Bret Hart also needs his dick surgically
yeah,
removed.
Bret Hart's probably my favorite wrestler growing up. But his ego is nuts, and I'm sick of him shitting on Goldberg. It's like it wasn't. Just,
no,
He fucking
no.
hates
Goldberg had a big ego, didn't have the right training.
Yeah, Goldberg
and
had
True.
it.
and he messed up and he ruined one of the greatest wrestlers
no,
at the
A
time.
younger Bret Hart could have handled all of Goldberg's hits. It's just his age. He was just wear and tear.
He was in his late 30s, early 40s. But wait, no. Here's
But
one
you
thing
know what? Bret Hart still was in shape at the time, though. He still.
But he got kicked in the head. There's no.
And,
hold on.
And Goldberg though, his kicks are pretty powerful.
Yeah.
They're not like little taps.
Hold on.
You could say it was just a one-off incident, but Goldberg had hurt a lot more than just Bret Hart. He had hurt quite
Goldberg
a bit.
even hurt
That's
himself.
true.
He
That's
even
true.
hurt himself.
I mean, it's kind of hit the modern day equivalent to what Goldberg did to people in the ring was
Ultimate
probably
Warrior.
Seth Rollins.
Well,
No,
Ultimate
Seth
Warrior.
Rollins.
Seth
the
Rollins
modern day
yeah.
equivalent.
But hold on.
Yeah, he has hurt so many people in the ring.
So
How
here's my
come Vince
point.
McMahon didn't intervene with that? You know, like, hey, send them back to training so he won't really smack these people.
You talking about
Someone
Seth?
big as
Goldberg.
No, he was in
Goldberg
WCW.
would have
That's
had nothing
why.
to do with Vince McMahon.
Yeah,
That was
Goldberg.
the
yeah,
WCW era.
That was all WCW.
Bret Hart.
Power,
and
that was
WCW.
power plant stuff.
But no, my point about Bret Hart was that Bret Hart, everyone forgets, he has a hardcore match and like 2 other matches or something like that after the incident happened. So like my thinking is this. Back then it was the 90s. They used to give people crazy chair shots. There was no whatever. But like nowadays, if somebody got kicked that hard, you would have sat them down. You wouldn't have been traveling. You wouldn't have been doing matches. And no one ever remembers the fact that he had matches after that and then had the incident where he had a stroke. So I part of me wonders, yeah, that was a bad incident, but what would have happened if you would have just stopped wrestling for like 6 months after? Maybe you're okay after that.
What was the guy's name in WCW
We don't know.
in charge?
When you
The
say
guy
that,
Bishop.
Yeah, Bischoff.
Right
Bischoff.
into
Why
his
didn't
fault.
Bischoff intervene and say, "Hey, man, you're hitting these guys too hard"?
Because
send them to
he was
retrain.
a big, shiny, rating drawing toy.
Yeah,
He brought in the money.
That's why
And
my point.
that's
Eric
why-
Bischoff and a lot of those WCW execs deserve some blame too. It's not just Goldberg.
Bischoff.
they know,
Bischoff's
I
like,
know.
oh,
Well,
Bischoff
they helped
was like,
they
oh,
helped take the company, so of course they deserve it.
here, take some more pain pills.
And so
I agree. They should have sat him down and said, "Hey, we
people.
know you're a star, but like you can't be doing this. Like you got to
They-
soften up."
They were on a Monday Night War. They needed the money. They weren't going to do that.
There's also many people who said they don't like working with Goldberg. It's not just Bret Hart. Jericho.
That's true.
Jericho has also said he doesn't like working with Bret
Yeah,
Hart.
I mean,
With,
I get
Goldberg.
that. I get
And
that.
because most pussy bitches are fucking easy to say they'll do shit, but when it comes to looking Goldberg in the face and saying, "Hey, silly cunt, stop fucking beating the shit out of the wrestlers,"
Bischoff,
that's
Hey, you
another
know who
Bischoff
did
could
do
just
that,
make a
though?
phone call. Bischoff could make a phone call to their doctor and say, "Yeah, just prescribe him some of the strong stuff." So
Well,
You know what though, Jens?
Most
Jens,
of
I will,
Goldberg's opponents were jobbers,
But
so
Jens,
they got
Jens.
beat up and thrown out, and they probably
Jens,
got.
I gotta say this to you though, Jens. I bet you Bret Hart in his prime versus Goldberg in his prime. I bet you bet Bret Hart in a legit fist fight. I bet Bret Hart would have whooped Goldberg's fucking ass.
You know who could whoop
Probably.
Goldberg's ass?
I'm saying it's management, innit? It's like who's ever organising the matches, they've got to say to Goldberg, right, you're a fucking jobber. You just fucking going really fucking stiff on all your opponents. Stop it, or else I'm gonna fucking not fucking let you.
Also,
here's
all
the
this-
thing: the whole
it's
point
all
of the
this-
wrestling industry is to bring in money, and if they could book a scorpion eating a sandwich and sell at the show, they would. They don't care.
You're not wrong.
So
And that's the thing that's fucked
Goldberg
up.
was drawing in so much money and so much attention, squashing all these jobbers, stiffing them the crap out. They're not going to go back and like, well, you need to stop. You need to. They rushed him through the power plant, which is why he was dangerous in the first place.
Yeah, because he was an
Well,
NFL.
they rushed both him and Paul White through that power plant.
Yes,
both of them.
They wanted both of them through so fast because they wanted to get them up to TV. But later on, like all the injuries that Goldberg was dishing out to a whole lot of people, like he damn near hurt William Regal, and that's why William Regal
beat his ass. He's the one guy.
Yeah, he jobbed the
refused
shit
to-
out of him in that match. But that's why later on, you remember, that's why they freaking had Goldberg stripped of the belt. They did the shenanigans with Hall and all those guys, you know, the clique, the new clique over there with Hogan, Hall, and Nash. That's why Goldberg went down in flames after that. Once that
So it was a
broken,
punishment.
that he was
So it was
unbeatable. It was a
like
punishment. It was a punishment for
Mhm.
everything that he did, and that's why he became nothing after that. Because you remember after that incident, nobody cared about Goldberg at that point.
Yeah, no one really did. Who did?
And Goldberg was a bit like the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
Where
very similar.
Diesel, run through you real quick, flash in the pan.
I like
Except,
Diesel.
except Ultimate Warrior had more training.
No, I mean Diesel Diesel as in
You're right. He did. Yeah, way
It
more
was
training
like-
than Goldberg.
Ultimate Warrior in the beginning, where none of the wrestlers would want to wrestle with him because
Still, even
he
then,
was so
before then, he
thick.
was a Dingo Warrior for years.
when he was the Dingo Warrior and
And he
world
was- and he
class.
was-
Oh,
Yeah, and
remember
it was tagging with Sting.
when when him and Sting were
Him and
like
Sting
super
were the
jacked.
the
and they
Blade
were the
Runners.
The Blade Runners.
Yeah. Holy shit, was he big back then?
Even Sting was fucking juiced
Yeah,
to the
Sting
max
was
at that
enormous.
point, and he like
Yeah.
shrunk. He shrunk by the time he first became big in WCW. But when he was
Yeah.
one of the Blade Runners, holy shit, he was chock full of roids.
Yeah, so it wasn't even when Ultimate Warrior first got in the WWF, he had been in the game for years, so it's not even close to Goldberg.
No, I'm talking about the style. His style, though. His style.
Yeah,
of
it's that because there was a stage where the only
smashing through
wrestler,
people.
yeah, because the only wrestler who would wrestle him was Ravishing Rick Rude, and that was because Ravishing Rude was a bit of a tough cunt, and I think he slapped Ultimate Warrior around.
They were
once or twice.
also probably friends in World Class. He probably met him in World Class and was friends with him.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying though, Ravishing Rick Rude was like one of the only wrestlers around, sort of thing, that would say to Ultimate Warrior, "Stop fucking around, you that bastard."
Rick Rude, who is a mad underrated wrestler, by the way.
Yeah. Well, he was a real good wrestler, and he was really fucking hard. Apparently, he was one of the hardest fucking.
I heard.
wrestlers.
I heard you didn't want to fuck with him in the locker room.
Yeah.
You know who I heard? You know who I heard the guy was that you wanted to fuck with even more than Rick Rude was freaking Stan Hansen.
Oh, because he'll poke your eyeball out during a match.
No, he had that. No, he had that match where he hit Vader in the head.
Gary
knocked
Jarrett
his
did
eye
that
out.
too.
But I heard that he was rough in the back room too. But then you get other people like freaking Bruiser Brody, who apparently was like a sweetheart in the back room. So,
well, apparently Ravishing Rick Rude, he was a great guy or something, but he was really tough. And so if there was any wrestlers who was fucking a bit stiff with him, he'd fucking have it out with them because he didn't take no shit. He won't going to think, oh yeah, I better keep my mouth shut because fucking I don't want to get in a fight. He'd tell, and I think he made Ultimate Warrior a better wrestler because he was telling him, look, fucking stop being stiff and that, and like.
Yeah, he'd also have longer than 5-minute matches with Ultimate Warrior too.
Yeah, because that was another thing. It was one of them where Ultimate Warrior would basically just come in and do them sort of like power sort of like rams off the
shoulder blocks and clotheslines. And
yeah, and then just pick them up and throw them behind him, not giving a fuck where they land in that, and then pinning them.
All right,
It's
I gotta agree with Shifty Gism. This is a dream match. I'd say other than Undertaker and Sting, I'd say Bret Hart and Kurt Angle would be a good dream match. Hello, Cinema Gulp.
Want to hear my dream match? Hey,
ravioli.
My dream match.
And spaghetti.
My dream match would be Andre the Giant in his prime, and the fucking guy from WCW, the Giant guy. What's that big guy's name again? Fuck,
the Big Show.
You say the Giant guy.
The Big Show. The Big Show.
The Giant.
Andre the Giant and the Big Show. Well, both in their prime would be my dream match to watch.
Mm-hmm.
When you say Andre the Giant in his prime, what do you mean? Like his fat age?
When he had longer hair.
I saw old matches of him where he wasn't fat, where he was just tall.
Well,
when he was, let's see, I'd say in his prime would be when they used to put like two guys to wrestle him at the same time, handicap matches.
Oh yeah, they would put like two, sometimes maybe even three guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Against the Big Show.
I prefer differently abled matches.
Not Big John Studd, because he'd always bitch slap Big John Studd and take his lunch money all the time. He'd always.
I remember he always fucked up Big John Studd. You would barely ever see Big John Studd get offense on him.
And from the TV shows, Big John Studd didn't want to wrestle Andre the Giant. He said he was always too rough with him.
Andre the Giant. They said he had a short list of people that he hated, and Big John Studd was on that. Big John Studd was on that list. Yeah, Macho Man, Jake the Snake.
He hated. Yeah.
Well, apparently he hated any wrestler who tried to like manhandle him and that. You know, if he thought a wrestler was going to sell him a bit short or whatever, he'd make sure the one by going quite stiff.
Did anyone see
the only reason he hated Macho Man because Macho Man put too much baby oil on his body.
Baby oil. Did anyone see these fucking matches when Ultimate Warrior was feuding with Andre the Giant, and they had all these matches not on television? They had clips of them like fucking from like Italy. I think they did like Italy shows.
They were almost like squash matches, really.
Unbelievable. Ultimate Warrior killing Andre the Giant in like 10 seconds in a match. So like, no wonder you're not showing this shit on American television. So DBS, since you're back, who do you think is a wasted opportunity for any wrestling company, like when bringing in a new guy or like building them up and just shitting all over the hype build up?
Damn, that's a tough one. Wasted opportunity.
I've got one.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Jens.
The Red Rooster.
Terry Taylor.
Yeah, well, I don't know his name. I just remember the Red Rooster, and it was one of them where I don't know who thought of the gimmick, but whoever thought of the gimmick, it wasn't great.
That's not a wasted opportunity. That's a dumb gimmick. That's not a wasted opportunity.
You know what though? I will say this about Terry Taylor.
He was a good
no matter
wrestler.
how bad that gimmick. Well, you know, it's not even the wrestling. He was a decent human being because when I was still living in Trenton, New Jersey, we had a CYO that was down the street, and sometimes they would have the WWF matches there, and then later on they would wind up having ECW matches. So my mother and I were walking down the street, and we're going to cross over to go to the CYO. Terry Taylor himself was just across the street, and there was all kinds of traffic come by. He stopped, came back across the middle of the street, stopped the cars, and escorted my mother and I across the street. Oh. He didn't need to do that. He did that anyway, man. And I will always remember that, man. What an awesome human being that guy was. Now that other piece of shit. That Garea, Tony Garea, What an absolute piece of garbage that guy is. Ask for him after the show. Ask for him to autograph the damn the little booklet. And he said, "Oh, I ain't got time for that, kid." Like, really? Like 2 seconds to autograph and you ain't got time? He's like, "Get out of here. Just get away from me." And I was
he a
about
heel?
8 or 9 years
I'm
old.
just about to ask.
Tony Gurria was a face. Tony Gurria was a face.
So
Yeah.
I straight up, I'm a little 8, 9-year-old kid. I'm telling him,
what a
fuck
dick.
you then. And that was the first time my mom allowed me to say that without reprimanding me. Well, like, what a piece of garbage.
No, Tony Gurria was a face. He was tag team champions with Rick Martel before Rick Martel was the model.
My best friend had a similar story. Around the same age, he met a bunch of wrestlers at a McDonald's, and he was a really big Jake the Snake fan, and Jake the Snake didn't sign his autograph. So he spent decades loathing Jake the Snake, laughing at his crack addiction and everything. And then about 3 years ago, he met Jake the Snake at a con, and he told him what happened. And he's like, "Yeah, I probably did that. I was a piece of shit back then." and that was it. And then my friend was like, "I still love him now."
Well, that's good. You can get over it. Man, that shit that happens as a kid will fuck you up. There was a local, I don't have a wrestler story. It was a local DJ in Detroit that came to career day. Like, he was a radio DJ, not like he was on the radio. And he kind of gave me like the whatever kid. Man, fuck you.
Like DJ Nick in the afternoon.
No, actually, it was he's in. I think he's in 8 Mile. Bushman. Is Bushman in 8 Mile? I don't know, but fuck you, Bushman. Unless something happened to you. I don't know if something happened to you. I ain't looking.
Yeah, fuck Bushman's couch.
Yeah,
well.
Bushman can suck it.
Yeah, now I'm looking up. Like, I hope Bushman ain't like dead or something, because I haven't looked into Bushman. What's going on in his life in a while?
No wishing death on Bushman.
Not the WCW suck it. The DX suck it. I don't like the WCW.
Hey, Slasher, I could tell you what my opinion of the worst wrestler that's wrestling now that has no business in wrestling.
I know. We were talking about this the other day. Rey Mysterio's son, right?
Rey Mysterio's son.
There are worse people than him, but he's not good.
It is one of them ways. It screams of nepotism, and so unless they are really good, like, it can be seen like,
they need to put him in a match. They need to put him in a match where he loses. They shave him bald.
No one screamed of nepotism. No one screamed of nepotism worse than David Flair. That dude was
fuck.
That dude was fucking useless.
He makes Dominic Mysterio look like Bret Hart. Like, good Lord, David.
Now to speak ill of the dead.
No, David Flair's alive.
I was thinking of Reed Flair.
Yeah, Reed's the one that's passed.
That dude,
we talk about a lot of. I mean, I guess it's 90s and 80s wrestling. So
that dude was another fucking. Oh my god, that dude sucked. Yeah, you know what? Another fucking wrestler that Tori Wilson banged.
God damn, around like a blunt.
Yeah. Kind of makes me wish I was in the locker room.
Right? Like, damn, if I was an attitude wrestler, that's all I had to do, and I probably could have smashed too.
Okay. Whoa. WCW, here's a wasted fucking wrestler. Someone they shit all over multiple fucking times. Motherfucker was a goddamn monster in ECW.
Oh, Barry Horowitz, right?
Destroying people left and right. Smashing people through tables. This motherfucker is a giant roid head who does shit that luchadors do. He does shit that luchadors do.
I know
Mike Awesome?
Mike motherfucking awesome. Mike,
I agree.
Fucking awesome.
You didn't like that 70s dude?
Oh my god! Oh,
wasn't the fat guy,
the
fat girl thriller? Yeah, God, they waste. Yeah, he might be number one most wasted wrestler because he was.
And then he
so
became
good.
Canadian. Remember, he joined Team Canada.
He did, yeah.
Holy fucking shit!
Skipper and Lance Storm.
Holy fuck! Hacksaw Jim Duggan joined Team Canada at one point.
He turned on America. He did.
For Canada? What a weak thing.
He turned on America.
AKA the dying days of WCW. I wonder why.
Man.
The red logo days.
Mike fucking awesome.
Yeah,
this dude in ECW. This dude in ECW would wreck shit.
Jumping off the apron power bombs through tables.
Top rope power bombs.
I'll tell you, one of the best matches I think I ever seen with him.
Dives into the audience.
Him and little Spike Dudley. Do you remember that match?
Put Spike Dudley through like 20 tables in that match.
that match was absolutely amazing.
Throwing him from the ring to the crowd through rows and rows.
Oh shit! Yeah, I do remember that spot. I thought you were gonna say him and was it Tanaka?
Yeah, Masato
Tanaka. Him and Tanaka
had like 80 matches.
Yeah, they had like hundreds of matches in ECW.
Yeah, but they were all crazy as shit.
Yeah,
it was like,
yep. Even that one
got
night
me interested in Japan death match.
The one night stand one. Even when they had the one night stand match, that match was fucking awesome. When WWF decided, hey, let's bring back ECW for a night. And then they sodomized its corpse a year later.
Like Katie Vick.
I was just thinking of Katie Vick and just that whole run, that whole fucking late 2002, 2003 run of Triple H, because we had mentioned the Booker T thing. I was just thinking about like how terrible was that whole era of Triple H. He really, no one blames him enough for how many fans he ran off in that era.
Dude, I'm telling you, we were talking about Mark Henry. I don't think anyone heard me. They called him the Silverback Gorilla.
Yeah, what the fuck? Like, it's crazy.
The Silverback Gorilla, Mark Henry.
I remember when Scott Steiner, when he first turned heel, and dyed his hair, they weren't calling him Big Papa Pup. They were calling him White Lightning. Scott Steiner.
Wow.
And then they were like, this might have white supremacist connotations to it. So
a little bit.
White Lightning. Then he evolved and eventually became the Big Bad Booty Daddy.
It was the same with Big Show. Like he wasn't the big right when he first came in. They were calling him Paul White.
They were going to call him. They wanted to call him the Titan initially. I don't know what that.
But then they were calling him like the Big Nasty, and then like a few weeks later, he was the Big Show.
The Big Nasty.
I do remember that. That was not going to stick. I'm glad it didn't stick.
Well,
it's the Big Nasty. Been big and nasty tonight.
Oh no, they could have did it. Luckily, Russo had left. If Russo was still there, it might have went with Big Nasty.
No, the Russo that is.
Listen, bro.
At the same time, this was going on, bro. Russo was having midgets jacking off in trash cans in TNA. So you're 100% right about the Big Nasty.
We're gonna put your trademark on a pole, bro. And you're going to reach up and you're the Big Nasty, bro.
And then I'm going to come down and say you're going off the script, bro. And then I'm just going to take the belt. No,
hey, Vince Russo is the reason why I didn't subscribe to WWF Magazine, but I did subscribe to WWF Raw Magazine.
Vic Venom?
Yeah, man. Vic Venom. He gave the real scoops, man.
Give the scoops, bro.
It was that, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and then all the jobber magazines.
I wrote a ton of magazines back then. Because I guess wrestling was like popular and people liked it, unlike now.
Talking about jobbers, though, how about a wasted sort of wrestler, a mass transit wrestler doing?
Yeah, what a wasted character.
Yeah, one match and it's over.
You know what? That character could have worked with a different guy playing it.
Jerome Bettis? Jerome Bettis is mass transit?
No, you get a guy that looks like Ralph Cramden and he plays a bus driver.
Yeah.
So a 1992 WWF gimmick.
Yes. The occupational days. Yes.
He's all fed up from all those patrons that he's driving around. The bus driver, Johnny Biggs.
Well, they got a garbage man over, so why not?
I was gonna say they could team him with Duke the Dumpster Drosy. Him and Duke the Dumpster Drosy could feud with Repo Man and Nails.
Nails
is the one who really put hands on McMahon.
Nails sucked.
You can't dismiss, even though the Big Boss Man was good, he was an occupational gimmick.
He was.
So was the Undertaker, technically.
He was too, yeah.
I
Val
guess he
Venus.
was.
Val
Yeah,
Venus
so was
was
Val
occupational.
Venus. He was a,
I don't even know what
person.
Mass Transit's gimmick was. Was he like a security guard?
He was a big boy. That was his gimmick.
He was a big fat kid who shouldn't have been in the wrestling ring.
Yeah, but what was he
And
dressed up as?
he was supposed to be like a bus driver, I think.
Right. I thought he looked more like a security guard, but
No, I think he was supposed to be a bus driver.
And he came out to Double Dutch Bus.
right.
And he went out,
Dutch Bus.
and he went out in a stretcher.
Yeah, he should have had some like phrases like "tickets, please," or "I'm gonna put your ticket out." Last stop and all that.
His
bus, not a riverboat.
No,
What's
great
he
move,
asking for?
great name for his finishing move. Last stop.
Yeah. At hospital, getting you fucking heads.
Last stop. Bing boom.
That is an excellent name for a move that he would never perform. He would never get a finisher.
And then when he's on the mic, he'd be like, "Get off my bus."
I considered for a long time calling people short bus when at the heel, and now I'm glad those videos don't exist.
Oh,
I'm glad I never actually said that.
Good
I
thing.
scrub that.
Hey,
better than slap nuts.
Slap
Tell you
nuts.
that.
Shit, Jeff Jarrett might be the opposite. Like, golly, did he get over pushed
Of not wasted, of pushed to the moon.
Yeah.
I
still
think he made TNA just to make himself a 900-time champion.
Yeah, that's probably true.
But he survived and he's still kicking. And speaking of Ric Flair's last match, he was in it. That's where I was going with that. Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't know. I didn't see the match.
No, it was Flair and Andrade versus Lethal and what's his face? I just said his name. What was I talking about?
Are you drag racing, DBS?
But let me turn my camera on. Hold on, let me face it the other way. Yeah, I kind of am drag racing, but I could multitask though. I mean, if I crash, you'll hear it.
Okay.
I don't want to hear it.
It's good. Good.
It'll go viral
for your
if you
show.
crash. After you've just been bragging about you being able to do fucking multitasking.
I mean, I was talking to him during an earthquake one time, so.
I don't want to be a part of any sort of snuff video that might float around on the dark web because somebody died on a live stream.
Fuck it. If it's fucking his own fault, then really,
I don't want. That's my face.
It's accidental suicide.
Accidental suicide.
All right, and Nate, what you need to do right now is you need to start practicing your I can't believe that just happened face. So if it does happen.
Oh yeah, he's fucked up now, aren't he?
What are you doing? Fucking not Home Alone face.
He might have been took out. Oh no, he's back.
All right, he's back.
I'm surprised you could hear all that. This guy in an Infinity thinks his car is fast, but I have a V8.
You sure showed him Fast and Furious, didn't you?
I was gonna. I know he's fast, but is he furious? I was gonna ask.
Yeah, he's no, not furious.
DBS, can you Tokyo Drift?
He's with his lawnmower.
Are you too fast
engine?
and furious?
It's got automatic gears. It's automatic.
Are you F9?
No, I'm
Furious
the
7.
I'm the F10 trailer.
Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah. No. I'm F10 trailer. I'm the trailer for F10 when the new one comes out.
Has it come out yet? The trailer?
No, there's a lot of fake trailers though out there on YouTube.
How much more furious is this one?
What if the
I thought I thought you'd be on that Fast and Furious where they've got the tunnels built underneath the fucking.
What was that movie called? With the
Yeah.
tunnels.
Mountains.
And if you want to know, I'm currently driving a 1998 Mercury Grand Marquis
No, not
V8.
great. Not great.
Oh, shit! Shout out to the Grand Marquis. It's gangsta.
Yes, you already co-signed.
Grand Marquis. It's a grandpa car. But it's good. It's sturdy, and reliable.
700 miles.
And it's a V8.
With the old school.
And this guy in his lawnmower, this guy with his lawnmower engine trying to race me. Like, come on, get out of here. Shit.
Oh shit!
Did you shoot a parachute out after you won?
Yeah.
Are Pinks about to be on the line?
No, I put the thrusters in reverse.
Are you gonna put Pinks on the line in like 5 minutes? I can't condone gambling. I can't condone gambling here.
Did Paul Abdul drop a handkerchief at the green light?
Yeah, like the guy in Greece. Like, we're racing for Pinks.
I thought you'd be racing for ravioli cans.
Not everybody likes that, so I could sell the car and have like a bunch of pallets of ravioli shipped to my place. That'd be cool if I could have a pallet of ravioli shipped to my home. That'd be cool. That'd be great.
They used to do that stuff if you would send them like a letter to like Post Foods. Like, I got some golden grams that were subpar, and they'll send you.
Oh, I did that. I opened up a can of raviolis once, and it was like foul, and it was rotten. And I took pictures of it, and I sent the email, and they sent me a voucher to buy 3 big cans for free.
I found a rock in a can of Bush's baked beans. Yeah, I'll shout them out. No fucking joke. Yeah, no, I made a can. Bush's baked beans, right?
Yeah, the one that had the dog that talks.
And all of a sudden, crunch! I'm like, what the fuck is this? Fucking spit it out into my hand. It was a fucking pebble. That I bit with my back tooth. What the flying fuck? I didn't call them. I called the lawyer. The lawyer was like, yeah, we can do anything about it. Nah. I seen some shit.
By your groans, I can tell that it was an anti-Semitic conversation.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Way to go, Kanye.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, but that's kind of racist. That's racist on your own because I did not assume the religion or skin color of the law firm I was calling.
The tone of the groans of the lawyer was very.
Was his last name Weinstein?
No, there was no Steens. There was no Steens.
Bergs?
No. I don't even know. Fuck, it was probably like. It's probably motherfucker and asshole.
See, that's where you made. That's where you made the mistake. As soon as he said no, you said, "Oh, I made a mistake. It wasn't a can of this. It was actually a box of matzo balls." I bet you would have helped it.
Oh, terrible! Oh, my matzo balls are defective. These fakata.
No, you could have called or emailed. You could have called or emailed, and then you could just give them the lot under the can. They should have a lot number, and you give them that, and they'll send you a voucher for another can. But for me, they send me.
I legit saved the empty can and the broken fucking pebble from my back tooth. I broke a pebble in half with my back tooth. What the fuck is a pebble doing in a fucking can of baked beans?
That's what I want to know.
Beans.
What's your dental routine?
They didn't wash. Pebbles. They didn't wash the beans out.
I didn't buy a can of Bush's baked pebbles. It was beans.
Yeah, well, before they cooked the beans, there's probably the pebble got in there. It's in the.
Are the pebbles for flavor? What the fuck is that?
Well, the beans they grow, on the ground, and they pick it and they didn't wash it out properly.
They pick the beans. Like,
They picked them off the ground,
they
the
don't
grass,
with beans.
plant. Hold on, I'm driving. I can't. Oh shit! It's starting to rain. Anyways, yeah, that's how your pebble.
All right, don't crash while you're live streaming.
Some asshole's job was to clean the beans out and to separate the dirt. Didn't do his job right.
No, here's the thing. Slasher is a chicken, and he has to scoop up stones and for his gizzard so he can eat his food.
Hey, if I want to crash, I'll crash. If I want. Hey, don't worry about me crashing. I got full coverage insurance. I'm good.
But what about your body and your life?
No, but it'll fucking go viral.
No,
my car. No. This car is good. It's a big, solid car. It could take a crash.
Not from a bus.
I'm in a full size car. I'm good.
Yeah, but if a bus T-bones you, we're just going to see that camera spinning around. It'd be fucking great.
No, it wouldn't be great, Jen.
No, it'd be obviously it'll be good if he's dead. But if he survives with minor injuries, it's going to be great for the fucking.
All right, DBS. Do you have your phone in your right hand while you're steering with your left hand?
How do you know? How did you know?
I'm saying like.
I could.
But you're not looking through the camera, right? You're just holding it up next to you. Don't look through the camera.
Well, now I'm looking. Now since you said no, don't look at the camera.
No, please don't.
Now I am looking at the camera.
It's delayed.
I'm looking at the camera now since you said don't.
No.
We're trying not to watch.
Yeah, I can see some red lights coming up fast.
You see my hand?
Oh,
you see my hand?
Jen. You vulture. You just want him to crash.
Do you see my hand on the steering wheel?
Could you put your phone in the baby seat while you drive the rest of the way?
All right. Okay.
Yeah, but then we'll be able to see the car.
How about I turn my camera off?
All right.
So you won't be so it won't make you nervous.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
How about I change?
Guys. You just took all the fun out of it. Just took all the fun out of this.
I don't want to. This. He was already in the middle of an earthquake. Like when I was live streaming him like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
I don't need a car crash on top.
You know what? Remember in the earthquake, it's too bad that the California didn't sink into the ocean. That would have been good for your live stream.
I heard that shit over. I heard that shit over the phone. It sounded like someone like set off a smoke bomb in a freezer. Like it sounded. I don't know what the fuck it was. Like, what the hell was that? He's like, oh,
I'm familiar with that scenario.
He's hanging out.
I was sitting in my old car. I have an old 1966 Plymouth, and I thought some asshole was like shaking, rocking my car back and forth.
Is that what they do there?
And I turned around and was like, oh shit, no.
I heard it. I'm like, what the fuck was that? I thought it was my computer. I thought it was my computer for a second.
I mean, it's still in your. If you go back to your live streams, yeah, it's still there. I
didn't take it down.
Yeah, I think I recorded just that part. I have it on my computer too, just that clip.
So DBS has managed to turn this from a wrestling stream into a public safety stream.
Mm-hmm.
Don't live stream and drive in the rain.
Don't drink and drive and live stream and in the rain at the same time.
That's a
you were drinking too?
While craving ravioli.
Oh, you were drinking too? You shouldn't have said that.
No, I don't. No, I'm just fucking with you. I don't drink. I don't drink. I'm being silly. I'm just being funny. Trying out my new comedy routine is not working.
Your comedy routine is that you drink.
Try it with
Now at the Laugh Factory, Mr. Drinker and Driver.
Someone's comedy routine is them drinking and driving.
You know him. You love him. He's intoxicated behind the wheel.
He got 60 DUIs this past month.
Drinking by social order.
Jesus Christ, this was a wrestling stream like 20 minutes ago, right?
There's a PSA about the Undertaker saying don't drink and drive.
Did anyone ever see the Phil Collins video with the Ultimate Warrior in it?
No.
No.
Was it You and Me in Paradise?
I don't remember what it was.
Warrior?
It's Phil Collins and the Ultimate Warrior. I think it's Two Hearts. Is it Two Hearts?
Because that's sort of like him playing all the characters.
That's quite a team up, though.
It is.
It's very 80s team up. Just like 80s is shit.
No.
Phil Collins, the Ultimate Warrior.
I only saw
All you need is
Captain
some
Lou
ice on it.
Albano and Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah, that's pretty 80s
Yeah.
too.
He's the best Mario. Should be doing the Mario voice.
Yep, it's the video for Two Hearts by Phil Collins. It's Phil Collins in a weird-looking fucking costume. And I guess he's singing while the Ultimate Warrior is beating the shit out of him.
Oh, maybe I did see that. Like he's in holds and he's singing.
Yep.
And he's getting dragged around the ring. I think I may have seen that.
I wonder if Ultimate Warrior during one of these takes legit like clothesline the shit out of Phil Collins. Like tried to take his head off.
No, he's probably like, hey, you want to do a bump?
Yeah. Fucking Cat Rush Love.
Yeah, sorry, I can't show the video right now of Phil Collins and Ultimate Warrior because I would get copyright struck.
No, you won't. As long as you don't play it.
That was my porn name.
Music. If you mute it,
Collins.
Phil Collins was your porn name.
No, but like they don't give a fuck if you muted it because then people aren't gonna fucking like just watch a video.
You could share it. You could just share it like frame by frame, like just pause it and then just jump around frame by frame and like that. And no sound, no music.
Or if you mute it, you can just play it.
That might take your stream down if you play it.
It won't because fucking as long as you're not playing the music.
How about I just show pictures?
Yeah, they don't really care as long as you don't play the music.
Don't listen to Jens. Don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I'm not
How many streams have you had took down, DBS, because you're showing some crazy shit that you fucking thought was all right?
Fucking Jens, you fucking cunt. Meet me at the pub. Meet me at the pub, fucking cunt. Fucking Jens.
Here's the showdown between Phil Collins and the Ultimate Warrior.
You know, Phil Collins has a pretty big smile on his face, man. I don't know
what is that thing that he's wearing? A cowl?
Phil Collins' dick must have got hard.
Right? That's what it looks like.
With hearts on it.
Yeah. He's
and
like,
he has
and then something of hearts.
And he has like heart card symbols on.
Maybe he's the king of hearts.
I wouldn't put it past him. He's British, English.
Wait, no, the song is Two of Hearts, right?
That's how they roll.
Yeah, Two Hearts.
Cunt.
Living in just one mind. It's Two Hearts living in just one mind. Oh, here's Ultimate Warrior getting him in the camel clutch.
This is crazy.
I don't ever recall Ultimate Warrior doing the camel clutch.
No, me neither.
That was Phil Collins' request.
That's what I'm thinking, right? That's what it looked like by that first picture. Like he was like, "Yeah, could you do a reverse, just anything?"
And smash it as hard as it.
Cowgirl.
Yeah, reverse cowgirl.
Balls deep. I request balls deep. Thank you.
That's what we call that move. Balls deep. You pull them back and you put your balls in their asshole.
Make them humble.
Like, you know how you do the military press? Just hold it up there for a little bit. Just if you want to take your hand off the front, just keep your hand right there. That'd be cool.
Look at the
'90s.
Look at the smile on the ref. The referee is really happy right here. Look at him.
He looks like a fat Cody Rhodes. Who is that?
It's American. Yeah,
he got a gray mullet.
He's the Canadian dream.
Yeah,
he only got to be a referee.
Oh shit! What's going on?
Canadian dream.
Oh, she got the maple leaves instead of polka dots. What's happening?
Nice,
you know, one thing I did like about Ultimate Warrior is all those different colored belt straps he have as the IC and the heavyweight champion. He had like yellow and blue and all this other shit.
Yeah,
white strap channel.
He was changing a lot, but you know what's stupid? When Sergeant Slaughter beat him for it, and Sergeant Slaughter still had like the weird color straps. Like, why didn't they just let Sergeant Slaughter have the black strap like it used to be?
Why couldn't he have a G.I. Joe edition?
Shit, that's kind of like they kept that spinner belt for Cena for a while. Where it was like, okay, well, after he would, I mean, he still win it, but it was like other people had to hold it, and it's like this is just the official belt.
I fucking hated that belt.
That's because you don't know about the West Coast culture of spinning tires after the car stopped.
No, I never heard of it before. Never.
No, not that you didn't hear about it. You didn't live that life. You didn't go down to the store and get a burrito at 3 a.m. You don't know about that.
Hey, look, someone made a Phil Collins and a fucking.
Is that like an Assassin's Creed hood?
Can you hear my windshield wipers?
Yeah, I do hear that.
It's annoying, huh? I'm gonna shut them. I'm gonna turn off the windshield wipers because it's too loud.
No, it's raining.
I don't want it to interfere. I don't want it to interfere with your stream.
Yeah, I don't want it to interfere with your life. Leave them on.
I think it's a challenge to be able to see. You know, even though the windshield you can't really see through the raindrops. I think it's just it'll be a challenge to drive like that.
No, this is not a challenge. This is not a Hell in a Cell.
Drive 50 miles per hour in the rain with no wipers.
Yeah, well, if you go fast enough, you'll get
Stop
through.
telling them to go fast.
Drive like an alpha male. Drive like an alpha male.
We'll just come off your windscreen.
That's not how an alpha male drives. Well, unless you're Paul Walker.
All right, I'll drive like a beta male.
Tommy, thanks for coming through. I'm sorry, I was looking up those stupid fucking Phil
DBS,
Collins.
please. I'd rather you. I'd feel safer if you drove like a cuck. So
I will pull over shortly because I'm almost at my destination, anyways.
Get some ravioli.
It's a ravioli themed strip club.
Yeah, it's a ravioli.
Ravioli. Oh, they wrestle in pits of Chef Boyardee ravioli.
Yeah,
Make it rain ravioli.
Oh,
sorry to disappoint you, Grim Reaper.
Dollar Tree?
Not tonight. Not tonight, Grim Reaper. Sorry to disappoint.
Yeah, it's going to the 7-Eleven for some ravioli reserves.
Oh. Give me the biggest can you got.
Yeah. Oh, the
sorry, sir. You have a problem. We're gonna have to cut you off because you're covered in ravioli all over your body.
You know that would be nice. Is to fill up a bathtub with ravioli? That would be cool.
Well,
might have to do that.
There's your going viral, Jens. Send them a whole bunch of ravioli, and then you can go viral on a live stream.
Fill up a bathtub with ravioli and lay in it.
Yeah, you
probably no. You know what? You know what would be even more demeaning than being in a bathtub if he sends you a kiddie pool and you got to do that shit in your backyard.
You may as well get like skunked by a skunk and see if the ravioli gets it off.
I think I'm gonna just Photoshop me in a bathtub filled with ravioli and send it to you guys. Send it to you guys and tell you it's real.
Well, I'll know it's real because you'll have like ravioli dripping off your mouth because you'll be too.
Because you can't resist to eat.
Yeah, you get a big handful, won't he? He's in a pack of ravioli. Do you think he's not going to get a big handful and just ram it in his face?
It's my crack.
Yeah.
You ramming it as gob. My
Yeah.
crackers are Mexican candy.
Yeah.
I'm
Have
a
you ever seen them zombie films where
yes,
all the blood is just from the mouth dripping down? That'll be like
technically
DBS, but with ravioli.
I am Mexican, yes, but I'm a ravioli eating Mexican.
Yeah.
I don't like the tamales, and I don't like all
You
the
don't
other
like
traditional.
tamales?
No, that's a
It's
I,
tamale season. It's coming up. I love tamales.
I fucking hate tamales. It's a ripoff. You get a little bit of meat, and then the rest of it is masa.
That's
And that
why you
masa
buy them. You get them from other people that give them to you, and then you get
and
enough to get full.
and masa, the cooked masa smells like armpit.
Yeah, but it smells better than chitlins,
No,
which is what I got.
it doesn't compare. Ravioli is I choose ravioli than tamales.
I can't do that, man. A good beef tamale. I don't care how much moss is in it. Yeah, I know it's a ripoff, but once you get that green olive, it's a wrap.
All right, now
No.
this turned into a food stream.
Like if I was
Maybe
a wrestler,
This is the official food of the luchadors.
maybe I should wind this down.
let me turn it back into wrestling. If I were a wrestler, I would grab a tamale and smash it on my opponent's face.
You know what I always thought would be a cool thing for someone to do? Like, that sort of shit. Someone to pour hot sauce in someone's eyes. But, it can't.
I think I've seen that before.
Not do real hot sauce.
Yeah. I mean, I heard that cum works the same way.
It burns your eyes, or it spices up your food. Which one? But honey, this is a little bland. Could you put a little cum on it? Here you go.
All right. What if you want to do like a stereotypical Mexican wrestler, right? And his finishing move is where he has a glove on his hand and he pours hot sauce on it. He pours Tabasco sauce on it and gives the guy the claw. He does the fucking Von Erich claw on someone.
Wow. I like that. I like that a lot.
Would that be protested? Would be that like no? You can't do that on TV because you're like a Mexican person using
might get overturned.
Yeah. I reckon.
It would still be a cool move, though. I think it would still be a cool move.
Yeah, but it probably would get classed as stereotypical.
All right, what if you have a white guy doing it? Would he be culturally appropriating?
Yeah.
Would it be
I don't
cultural
think so.
appropriation?
The white guy using Louisiana hot sauce or Red Devil? I don't think so.
Okay.
So
it depends on what brand he's using.
Yeah, but you use Tapatio, you're in trouble.
But I think DBS should be like parceled in a big ravioli where he gets bulled to the ring, where he eats himself out of this ravioli.
Like Bastion Booger.
Right, yeah.
Oh, good God. Fucking Bastion Booger.
There's some wasted talent.
Oh, yeah. Would you? All right. Is that part of your list? Nate?
Oh, yeah. He's right there.
Did you see what he was before that?
I tell you what. I'm surprised, Nate, you didn't fucking mention Mr. T being a wasted wrestler.
He was barely a wrestler.
I don't know, that's why he was wasted. Why?
I don't think he was wasted.
They could have trained him up. Because that match was like... I know he was wasted.
They really wanted to limit who they smartened up in the business in the 80s.
They talk about a waste. Zeus. All the fucking time they put into Zeus. What a fucking complete waste.
His name was... No, that wasn't Zeus. I was thinking of a different name. I was thinking of Hogan's name, Thunderlips.
Tiny Lister.
Yeah. Debo.
They put so much effort into the fucking Hogan feud with Zeus, and it was nothing.
Oh, but it was all in no holds barred.
I know, but like, why spill over to fucking actual wrestling if it's not gonna accomplish jack shit?
Because it fucking like was at cinema.
I'm saying though, they should have just kept Zeus to the movies if that was the point.
All right.
Vince Sr. didn't like those movies. Hogan, yeah, he's lucky to be in any of that.
Brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think either of the McMahons liked that shit.
No.
I don't think either of them liked that shit. Yeah.
Because it's like,
they didn't like it till it was a WWE film.
Yeah, by then, shit, I think that was past after Papa passed. But yeah, because WWE films was that 2000s.
See no evil.
Put so much effort into
the Marine.
They put so much effort into Zeus, like putting him with Macho Man and having all those promos and shit. Motherfucker had like 2-3 matches. Like, come on.
Yeah, they didn't really max him out. I mean, shit, he's kind of one of those, like you said, he's Debo. He's the president in The Fifth Element. He's the guy who saves the
Dark
half
Knight
of the city in the Dark Knight. Yeah, it's one of the memorable scenes in that. He ended up being one of those, like, I don't know if he was kind of iconic actor, man. You know, fucking this Debo. Rest in peace. But I mean, as a wrestler, he probably could have did more. He was so fucking huge. I mean, geez, there's not a lot of human beings.
He couldn't move though.
No bump.
He couldn't move.
That's true.
It was sold on just being a big, massive sort of fucking sort of villain to Hulk Hogan.
He couldn't move. He had the mobility of fucking Great Khali, basically.
No, but Hulk Hogan
He's like
couldn't hold either.
Omos.
It's like when they wrestled, it was mainly just like big two dudes.
He used to do like that clubbing thing to the back.
Yeah.
With the two arm clubs to the back. A bear hug. A fucking bear hug.
Yeah.
You got to remember to shake him around.
Yeah.
That makes it hurt more.
Like a rag doll.
Big hug.
But they put a lot of money and time into a lot of people they just fucking waste. Anyone got anyone else to mention? Because I'll mention one.
I just thought of what was the guy's name that Bret Hart had this quote unquote legendary match with? Because he was like really big and you could do flips in the like late 80s, early 90s. I can't think of the guy's name, but it was
yeah. They were from what the
Leaping
story
Lanny
say.
Popo.
From what the story say, this guy was supposed to be built up as the next Hogan.
Yeah, yeah.
Mega Man Tom McGee.
Yeah, Tom McGee is the guy. That's the guy.
And what happened to him?
Nothing.
Nothing.
He had a match with Bret Hart, and then they put some money behind him and hyped him up. And I think he did one TV, and that was it.
Oh, speaking of big guys like that are athletic, I always thought Bull Buchanan was always underrated, aka Recon, aka B Squared.
Yeah, they always had him in some goofy shit, and he was like a real cool big guy.
Yeah, what was what the fuck when he was Recon? What the hell was it? The Truth Commission. There you go.
Yeah,
that's where they brought in Kurgan, another guy they put a lot of fucking time into. That was a waste.
That did the claw. It was hot sauceless, and I don't know what
he
kind
didn't
of
have
brand
hot
he would
sauce on
use.
his claw, but he did do the claw. I think he also did a claw
Like
slam.
Yugoslavian.
Didn't he also like he didn't just do the claw? He did it like a slam, almost like a choke slam with a claw, right?
Probably a choke slam into a claw. Yeah.
Okay. So I know we talked a lot about the older wrestlers, but I got to go into the thumbnail right now. What I have, Bray fucking Wyatt,
third generation.
This guy, talk about a fucking waste. Now I know they brought him back, yada yada yada. It might also be a too late territory for this guy, but another guy they reinvented a bunch of times, built him up, and just shit on him. What does anyone think about Bray Wyatt?
I agree a ton. I was going to say something when you mentioned kind of his patronage. You were talking about Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda, and I want to say Wyndham Rotunda, because that's Bray Wyatt's real name.
Yeah.
Listen, you know what? They definitely wasted him, but man, the campaign, this White Rabbit shit they did to bring him back was really cool. That's one thing I did follow along with.
He sucks in the ring.
I don't think he sucks, but he can't. Like he's had good matches with. They keep putting him in crazy ass matches. Hell in a Cell was crazy.
I don't think he's
that stupid. You remember that Randy Orton match with the bugs on the ground? They put him in bad position. So you remember these terrible matches, but he also had a good match with Daniel Bryan. He was
good wrestler.
Okay.
Tell me a list of a match that he had a good match with that wasn't like a future legend.
Okay, I got one. You'll probably think I'm crazy because no one remembers it. He had a match with Ryback of all people that was watchable. And I'm like, you know what?
That was watchable
for Ryback. That's a damn. You know what I mean? Ric Flair,
guess, man.
He had a watchable Ryback match. Like, oh, this wasn't that bad. It was just a middle of the no land field where he was getting shit on. Nobody cared about Bray Wyatt. I don't think the Wyatt family together was at this point. But I was like, oh, you know what? If he can have a.
Was he Husky Harris?
No, this was after that. This is after the Wyatt. I don't know if you remember, the Wyatt family just randomly broke up at one point for no reason. We was letting them free, and after that point, he got into some nothing ass feud with may have been the last feud, one of the last feuds of Ryback had.
The one where was this around the time where he had the match with Undertaker at that WrestleMania at the 49ers Stadium?
I think it's after that, but yeah, not too far after. Or maybe right before. I don't remember. It was in that era. I've smoked a lot of weed since then, so my memory ain't perfect. So I'm conflating things. But I just remember him having a solid match with Ryback. Now, listen. Again, that Hell in a Cell, who was going to have a good match in that with that type of booking?
Who could have a good Hell in a Cell since
you could follow the rules of Hell in a Cell and not be illogical.
But that's not his fault. You know what I mean? That's the WWE's fault.
Okay, that Hell in the Cell with him and Seth Rollins was that ending. Oh my God, that was
a terrible ending.
An Obama fucking nation. Holy fucking shit! What they did at the end of that Hell in the Cell with Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins.
It was gross.
What the fuck were you thinking?
And that's what holds him back. So you think about all these bad matches because of the bad booking he gets.
Like the match the filmed match with John Cena, that one was so great.
Or the swamp match with him and Braun Strowman.
Yeah, I don't blame this for him. Like, yeah, what is he? Okay, because Braun Strowman is known for his technical wrestling ability. Like,
no, and I don't like Braun Strowman either.
I'm just saying the dumb
shit. It's not something that's exclusive to him. I'm just saying I don't think he's a good wrestler.
I'm saying the dumb shit they ended up doing with Bray Wyatt after building up his character so many different tight times in the span he's been there.
Has anyone brought up the Blue Me?
Okay. As a waste of a character?
I think he's
not a waste of a. No, that was a dumb idea bringing him out, Blue Meanie. How the hell did he get in there into the big times, the professional wrestling?
Blue Dust, man, Blue Dust.
I think he took a lot of bumps.
Yeah, Blue Meanie was. Blue
Meanie. Blue Meanie was the fat version of Stevie Richards. He was there to get his ass kicked.
I hope they have a dark side of the ring of Blue Meanie where like they show him all fucked up now.
Yeah, married to the porn star.
He married a gangbang. Yeah, he married a gangbang porn star.
Well, that's
Jasmine St. Clair.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's looking all right. Apart from he's gone like really gray, whitey.
Yeah, he looks good, except for he's just really gray.
Yeah,
I remember he got skinny at one point, and then he got fat again. He was like Newman from Seinfeld.
I'm sure
Newman from Seinfeld. Yeah. He got skinny because he had the
gastric bypass.
Yeah. and then he got fat again.
After
you got that money.
Jasmine St. Clair after the bukkake, he comes over and gives her a French kiss.
Oh, he probably did.
What's wrong with him, man?
That's probably his deal.
Probably is.
I don't think so. He liked the Beatles. They did the Blue Meanie gimmick. He was fat. People
He could do a moonsault. He was one of the fat guys that I am always impressed by a fat guy that could do a moonsault and beat Blue
He's
Meanie
better.
was
He's
a
better
fat
than
guy.
Otis. I'll tell you that. Better than Otis.
Really, I like Otis.
I don't mind him, but he doesn't do anything.
He's big and lovable.
Well, Blue Meanie
Blue
though,
Meanie was more lovable.
He shot to fame by getting the shit beaten out of him by JBL.
Oh yeah, I remember that shit with JBL just for no reason started pummeling him, and then at one point Steve Richards came in.
Well, yeah,
hit him with the worst
apparently.
chest shot ever.
Well, apparently the reason was that the Blue Meanie had been talking shit about JBL's wrestling, saying he's not good in that on some fucking tweet or whatever, and JBL had like read it or whatever, and so he started beating the shit out of him.
Yeah, but he also did this in the ring during what was supposed to be like a multi-man brawl at the end. ECW One Night Stand, the first one.
Yeah. Well, he got fined and that, but apparently the reason why because the Blue Meanie said he didn't even know
when you put the tire
was there. He got
2002 Toyota Camry.
I like hearing the JBL stories where he got his ass kicked.
Rear.
Like the one where Joey Styles knocked him out on an airplane. Where Joey Styles, of all people, knocked out JBL on an airplane.
Joey Styles, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know because you see that where he got knocked out in that what was it, All for One or whatever it was, where there was boxing.
The Brawl for All.
I swear. Oh, Brawl for All, yeah. That's
no,
funny.
I'm talking about legit, like backstage.
Yeah,
and you remember Joey Styles, right? The ECW guy. Oh my god, that guy, the ECW guy. He was announcing Raw for a bit.
No,
I think I heard this story.
Yeah, I heard the story too. I remember Joey Styles, and I do remember. Oh my god, it was kind of annoying, but yeah, I do. I remember hearing that. And didn't JBL get punked by somebody else too?
I've heard he got punked by a lot of people who stood up to him. I heard if you stood up to JBL, he was gonna fucking tuck his tail and turn away from you.
What do you guys think about JBL himself? I mean, he had that one title reign.
The only time I liked JBL was him and Farouk. That's it.
I liked him when he was the angry Texan or whatever for a little bit, but just a little bit.
I like the APA,
I did like
or the Acolytes, whatever the fuck. Even when they were the Acolytes, when they were just.
I like the APA a lot.
I like them.
Now, if we want to watch the Acolytes, we have to go on Disney Plus.
No, you can't see it on YouTube. I'm sure you can see it on YouTube.
No,
dude,
I have a show called The Acolyte or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Is that what the Acolytes when they beat the shout of fucking what was it? Midnight
Public Enemy. Public Enemy.
Yeah, Public Enemy. Because Public Enemy apparently wanted to like not get put through the table, and that was the finishing move.
They changed the ending of the match. So.
Yeah, well, they didn't really change it because apparently they were saying like all they said is we're not going through a table, so they didn't give them any other option. They just sort of like said we're not going through the table, and because they didn't change what finish it was going to take, like Farouk and GBL.
Public Enemy was brought in and like almost immediately ran out when they came to WWF at that point. I don't know why, because there were a lot of ECW and WCW guys going back and forth at that point. I don't understand why they were treated that way. Unless they were talking shit. They must have been talking some sort of shit.
Well, apparently, I think the class themselves as like a bigger sort of like act than there was because the Dudley boys like
they didn't get fucked with when they came in. The Dudley boys didn't get fucked with when
but they didn't go to WCW also.
but the Dudley Boys fucking didn't
Okay,
like.
all right. You want to talk about WCW, Nate?
No, I want
No,
to talk
no, no,
about the
no, no,
Dudley
no, no,
Boys.
no. Wait. No, I'm bringing up something in Nate now. No, if you want to talk about WCW influence and what happened, first of all, WCW lost so many guys, even before that, at that point, to WWF. They lost Mark Marrow. They lost Ron Simmons, Farouk. They lost Steve Austin. They lost Mick Foley. So many WCW guys went over to them at that point already.
Yeah.
So why would they? Unless it had to have been Public Enemy talking shit in the backstage.
Yeah, probably because they bounced around from ECW to WCW and WWF. I think they were bouncing around and talking stuff. I don't think it was just that somebody came from one organization or the other, because the people you mentioned, that was all like pretty much one big place going to the WWF, which is the same as the Dudley Boys going from ECW to the WWF.
That was a
But I
lot
think
more
it's just
common
they were
back then.
talking
That
stuff
happened all the damn time.
and bouncing around.
It happened all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I have that keychain.
the thing with Public Enemy was they thought there was bigger than there was, and there wasn't selling fucking other wrestlers' moves because the Dudley Boys were pissed off with them because
In ECW, you mean when the Dudley Boys were
yeah,
fighting them in ECW?
Oh
yeah,
shit!
and they didn't like sell the move. They were supposed to like you know when you get a beating in that you're
Oh
supposed
yeah,
to like
no, we know what selling is.
yeah, but it was one of them where they were supposed to keep down sort of thing, you know, and let them
Like the
sort of like
Steve-O thing we were talking about before.
yeah. You're
That's
supposed
a
to stay
no-no.
down until they sort of like get out of the sort of like arena sort of thing backstage, and that's when you get up sort of thing. Well, they was getting up before the Dudley Boys was even getting towards the like entrance for the, you know, and so there was pissing off the Dudley Boys and the acolytes and that.
So they already had that rep of being like, oh, we don't sell. But yeah, that would fuck you up, especially then.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna sell, then people are not gonna fuck with you, and then you're gonna probably get kicked out and bounce around a couple different feds. That's how it goes.
Yeah, well, I think they considered themselves to be like too good
Bigger
to be
than
like
bigger than they were.
Yeah.
Because they were that first run in ECW, they were pretty popular.
That ECW run is what got them their WCW contracts. Weren't they like one of the first people that WCW was like, oh, we're gonna plank these guys from?
Yeah, really. I mean, maybe is well, you know, I don't know. When did Jericho? Because he did that cup of coffee in the ECW, so I don't know. Again, I don't know if you want to count him, but it was around the same time.
Well, ECW Jericho wasn't around very long. They did give him a belt for a little bit, but he wasn't there long.
But he was from ECW to WCW.
Yeah, he was one of those guys. Yeah.
Yeah, but
again, that's what I was saying. It was like a farm system, basically. ECW was a fucking farm system.
Yeah, that's exactly what they were. They were NXT for the whole industry, where people would, you know, because Jericho himself, he had already traveled to Mexico, traveled to Japan. You stop at ECW for a little bit, and one of the big companies end up picking you up. You know what I mean? That's how it goes. So you go to one company, fall off for a little bit, go to ECW, maybe the other one to pick you up. That's what happened to Austin and Foley. They both left WCW. Foley was there in ECW a little bit longer than Austin. Actually, a lot longer than Austin, because Austin was there like a week. I don't know how long Austin was there, but it was the same sort of thing.
He wasn't there very long.
You know, go there, chill out. Maybe the other one will pick you up.
Yeah, well, Public Enemy, when there was moving, there was expecting to be tracked like stars, but when you move to a different thing, you got to like work from the bottom, aren't you?
Yeah.
So, and it wasn't. They wanted to be like considered like top fucking billing from like when and it like pissed off a few fucking people.
Well, they also took Sabu from ECW, or maybe before. It was either around the same time or right before. They took Public Enemy from them, and Sabu was only there for like 1 or 2 months. Public Enemy was in WCW for a while, I thought. They were there for at least 3 years, I thought, right? At
I
least
think they
3
were there
years.
over 2 different time frames. I think they were maybe in WCW, then went to ECW, then to WWF, and then back to WCW. That's what I think.
Oh, okay. Hey, what's up, Ancient One? How you doing?
Yeah, it's one.
What's up, Ancient One?
Anyone got else? Got any other characters? Scott, anyone
Yeah,
want to say Scott Steiner? Scott Steiner in in WWF in his second spin there, maybe.
No.
You said who? I'm sorry.
Scott Steiner.
And the
second time around, non-Steiner brothers, Scott Steiner.
You're talking about when he came back as maybe a little. I mean, a lot of
WCW.
a lot of post WCW guys when they went to WWE maybe didn't get the fairest run.
He also ran into Triple H.
Bring him up again. He was a complete shithead in that era, man. The game.
Let's have a flex off. Like, come on.
That's one of the worst ideas. What was the point in that?
World Bodybuilders Association will never die in Vince's eyes.
Not just Vince, Triple H. He's gone to like Olympia and shit. He's a bodybuilder guy.
I know. I don't expect him to die, but
Triple H doesn't know what leg day is, though.
No, he skips that.
All the wrestlers, don't they? They have to fucking bulk up. There's the odd one or two but usually they have to be really like athletic high flyers. But most of them, they have to bulk up. So you have to do your weights and that.
Well, not as much anymore. There's a lot more.
That
definitely is the.
No. Every like wrestler, like, because if you're gonna lift someone above your sort of like weight sort of thing, you need to like train. You need to like so they're all like
Adam Cole. I mean, I know these guys do train, but like
I never did any I haven't done squats for like 15 years.
All right, I thought you were gonna say you haven't done steroids.
Yeah.
I haven't done steroids either. And I Samoan dropped a 100-pound guy.
Wow, nice job.
A 400-pound guy?
2 times I did it, actually. He's 400-pound guy.
Yeah?
Yeah. You dropped him.
No,
Samoan drop. Yeah.
Oh, Samoan drop.
What was his name?
Enterprise.
Okay.
You
ever heard of this guy, Lucifer Darkside?
No.
This guy, this dude is like Viscera, but short.
You mean Big Daddy V?
You mean King Mabel?
6 Titty V?
From Men on a Mission, who can bust rhymes?
Yeah, I heard he was another one who used to fuck people up back in the day.
He broke Undertaker's face. He sat on Undertaker's face.
Jesus Christ. He was huge, too.
And that's when we got Phantom of the Taker.
I just did like that mask, but Jesus, I wouldn't want to be Taker. Oh, some of the injuries these fuckers take, right?
I thought that was a cool mask, though.
I did too.
I thought that was a cool mask.
It was all right. It was all right.
Thingy when it's Scott, not Scott, the other big dude, who was
Kevin Nash?
Yeah, Kevin Nash. I think the dude that broke Undertaker's face broke Kevin Nash's back because he jumped on his back.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing that. Yeah,
he did. Yeah, because that was Kevin Nash. It was when Diesel was the champ. They thought, you know what would be a good match? Diesel and Mabel.
The new generation.
Woo. These big monsters. He's 7 feet. He's 700 pounds. Who doesn't want to see that?
This is really where the big boys play.
They don't want to see Hogan. They want to see. They want to see King, Mabel, and Diesel. Welcome everyone to the.
We got Isaac Yankum, DDS.
It was fucking dangerous, though.
Duke the Dumpster Drosy. Yeah, the new generation, everybody.
The Repo Man.
Yeah.
Sparky Plug.
Kama, the ultimate fighting machine. Remember when they changed Papa Shango to Kama, the ultimate fighting machine? I was like, what the fuck? Papa Shango, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Papa Shango had a dope look. He had a dope gimmick. Fuck that bullshit.
Well, they
Yeah,
just did it
I
years
like
later as the
Papa
Boogeyman.
Shango.
But yeah,
His
I like
name,
Papa Shango
Papa,
too.
and all gets more friendly.
All right, I guess did they figure that his gimmick was too like Undertaker-ish? So like they're like,
Maybe.
all right, we gotta nix this real quick.
Didn't they feud? I remember there being like a pretty cool.
They
feud.
did.
I thought they were building up to one at one point.
And then he had that black goo that came out of the
With Ultimate
Warrior's
Warrior
mouth.
and Ultimate Warrior
Yeah.
threw up at another promo. Ultimate Warrior is like collapses and throws up.
Yeah, that made Papa Shango Papa Shango seem cool as fuck when he made the Ultimate Warrior throw up for some reason.
I'm loving it for 5 weeks.
You know what? You should become an Ultimate Fighter now, pal.
Anyone got anyone else to mention? Because I think I'm gonna wrap this up soon.
Yeah,
I'm almost done.
Ken Shamrock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was kind of wasted.
Yeah,
This-
I heard
this is
they
it was
thought
at
about
the-
making him champion.
It's
He's in
funny
great shape too right now.
It was at the point where they were giving people the belt for like a month too. Like there was a point where someone would have the belt. Sometimes not even a month. They could have given him like a fucking 4-week run.
Yeah, Kane only held it a day. If you guys remember that shit.
Yep.
Well, Ken
one
Shamrock.
fucking day.
Yeah, Ken Shamrock got it because he was like a UFC fighter sort of thing, and so like it was one of them where he couldn't really wrestle because he was more of a fighter.
He was a good
I thought he was pretty
wrestler,
good.
He was a good wrestler.
He was
He
good.
wasn't like
He
Jake
was
Abbott
good.
or anything.
He was good.
Yeah, he was good, but like I don't think he won't out great if you know what I mean.
He was a wrestler before he was a UFC fighter. That's
Yeah,
how.
he had wrestled early.
He was a proper wrestler.
Yeah, he
He
was
did
a pro.
some pro
He was a
wrestler.
pro. He was a
He did some
jobber.
regular wrestling. Yeah.
He was a jobber.
Yeah, but I'm just saying there's a difference between being able to do wrestling and then being a great wrestler.
I don't know. I thought he was good in the ring. I thought he was good.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
he
will
was
say
good in the ring.
I will say he didn't really have a
deserved more, but he
character.
was good.
He
Like,
wasn't
his
great. He wasn't great on the mic or anything.
Yeah, his character
No, he
stuff
wasn't.
good.
Maybe that
It
was why they
just,
didn't
hey,
push him.
that probably was it. Hey, I'm about to snap. That's what, I'm gonna snap.
Yeah.
That was it.
Val Venus,
I'm
you're
in my
still my
zone!
sister.
Yeah. So
Remember,
that stuff
I'm in my
wasn't
zone.
good. Yeah.
I guess you could say his style is kind of what influenced like Goldberg, right?
Yeah, definitely. Him, yeah. Cause because that's when MMA started to exist. So like the Ultimate Fighting when they had the no weight classes.
Yeah.
fucking UFC,
Oh yeah.
And the crazy
The
shit.
beast mode Ultimate Fighting.
Yeah, that was brutal shit. That
It was a
Bloodsport
one-night
shit.
tournament.
Yeah. They were trying to do Tekken in real life back then. So yeah, that era was around. So that's where you start to have these gimmicks like him, Steve Blackman, Goldberg. I'm trying to think.
Dan Severn.
Tank Abbott,
baby.
yep, Dan Severn. Yeah. Dan Severn had great music. It never really got used.
I think they ended up giving that music to Dr. Death when they brought him in.
Oh, they did. You're right.
Steve Williams.
Yep.
I'd love to be some Dr. Death back in the day, man.
He was pretty good. By the time he got to WWF, though, he was probably a little past it.
Well,
Man,
they
that Brawl
helped.
Ball
They,
didn't
they
work.
helped cripple him with the Brawl for All. too.
Yeah, that was a bad idea. That was one of the worst ideas ever.
I'd say that's definitely up there. Yeah.
Coming off the heels of the steroid scandal, it'd be good to roll the dice on maybe getting some legitimacy back in the business, but it didn't work out that way.
Yeah. You know what? It could have worked if they would have just got like actual fighters instead of using their actual wrestlers to do it and have like a segment.
Well, that's the whole thing. They wanted to re-legitimize the business.
The wrestlers themselves, yeah.
Yeah.
You end up
No, according
These
to
are legit tough guys.
according to Vince Russo, bro, he made it up, bro, because he wanted to see Bradshaw get his ass kicked because he said he was the toughest guy in the locker room.
Yeah, that's right. And he got to the finals. But thingy though, that dude,
Bart
Oh,
Gunn. Bart Gunn
yeah,
won the whole thing.
yeah. He
The
fucking.
lefty.
Well, I don't know, but like he had a fucking great fucking punch because like he
Then
was.
he got destroyed by Butterbean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But
that was
Butterbean's
his,
a
that
proper
was his
fighter, though,
prize
isn't
for the whole thing. Was getting wrecked
he?
by
Yeah, but
Butterbean at WrestleMania.
yeah, but he never hit Butterbean, did he? Because he had a great fucking like he wasn't all that good at moving, but once he got someone in the corner or wherever, or he could land some fucking punches in the end. Because the one with oh, what's his name? Not Hardcore Holly, his mate
Crash Holly.
No, he was teaming
yeah.
with Hardcore Holly at the time, yeah. When they were the new Midnight Express.
Yeah. The fight with him where they're just fucking knocking the shit out of each other. Just because you could take them down, couldn't you, for 5 points?
Yeah, they had takedowns too. Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. That's funny. I forgot about the takedowns.
I remember watching these at my friend's house, like when I would go to their house for when we would go switching back and forth between Raw and Nitro. Sitting on the couch smoking blunts, just switching between wrestling and yeah, we would catch the brawl for Raw, and I think it was all right because Mark Marrow was legit a Golden Gloves boxer, so they had him in the tournament.
Yeah.
And I think they had him against Steve Blackman, and Steve Blackman keeps taking him down, and I was because I guess I didn't catch all of Jim Ross's rule rundown. I'm like, what the fuck is these takedowns in a boxing match? He was doing like leg sweeps. He's doing like leg sweeps. I'm like, I thought this was boxing. Okay, guess not.
Yeah.
It was very confusing. You know, you're gonna watch this shit, and then like 2 minutes later, you're gonna see Val Venus popping out of a bush wearing a fucking an army helmet,
a purple army helmet.
It's like you didn't know what to expect.
No.
It's a carnival for the senses.
A carnival.
The Godfather, when he got knocked out, though, he was fucking taking loads. It was one of them.
You want to know what's fucked up about Godfather being in that tournament? What? He was in that tournament twice.
Was he?
He lost his first match, and then he had to come into the match as a replacement because so many other people were injured.
Right. Yeah, there was a bit where he was like fucking in character still.
All right. Now Death by Saber is I'm gonna get mugged in a parking lot mode.
Yeah, I know.
I'm in a bomb. I'm going down to the bomb shelter.
All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. Thanks, guys, for coming through.
I'm the one that's doing the mugging. Hey, Slasher, I'm the one that's doing the mugging. They have to fear me.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna get in trouble for live streaming it.
Good content.
Good seeing you, DBS. Good seeing you, Jens.
Good hanging out with all of you.
Bye, Vigilante.
No, I'm
all right, bye, everybody.
I'm giving everyone a chance to go ahead.
Star Wars and Ho shows every Thursday.
I'm going down the line.
Check me out on spacelabx.com, at spacelabx1 on Twitter, Otaku Savage on Instagram, SpaceLabX on TikTok, Infinity Vertical on Facebook. I'm all over the place. Yeah.
Don't sound too enthusiastic about yourself.
Ignore his health issues.
Yeah, ignore my health issues.
Right. I know Jens has a lot more to say than you.
Yeah, well, I got a video out which I'm disappointed it's only got 7 views because it's right good. It's educational. It's about these soy-haired bitches who have like a sparring match with this UFC fighter, but they practically just start fucking molesting her, the dirty bastards. And I have it all on camera. I'd fucking like show this sort of fucking pervert little cunts.
Wait, what?
One of them, right?
What are
No,
you
what?
saying? You're saying like
One
they're
of them.
trying to train a girl and then like basically just like grabbing her by the twat and shit?
Well, no, she's a trained UFC fighter, and they're sort of like showing how tough women are, but they're letting
Oh,
her, right? Because what, right? I swear down, watch it. One of them is getting choked out, right? And it's a standing guillotine choke, right? And I said, like in the video, usually when you're getting choked out, your hands are usually round their arms. So when you're tapping out, you'll tap their forearms or elbow. You know, well,
yeah.
he tapped their ass. The
Oh,
dirty bastard. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, choke me out, choke me out. Oh yeah, I've ejaculated. Now I can tap your ass. The dirty pair.
oh,
And
you're
then
saying he turned the fetish into
watch, watch it slash yeah. Watch
all
me.
right.
It's the latest Soy Nerd. It's Soy Nerd 8, and yeah, you'll know because like the beginning bit is because it was a video called eight eight dumb guys take on professional fighters sort of thing, and then yeah, I've got my live stream videos and Twitter account at 278 Pedersen.
All right. Thanks for coming through, bro.
Yeah, well, cheers. We're having us on. Gotcha.
Vigilante. Thank you for coming through.
Hey, thank you for having me. Like Jens just said, man.
Yeah, man. It's been a while since we talked.
It has been a while. Yeah, thank you for having me on. I have a channel. This past week I haven't really done that much stuff because of work, but I'm trying to get back into it and try to get on harder. One thing I do not do that sounds nasty. But I have a podcast every week with my man Matt from Fireball Productions, called the Culture Crime Fires. Monday, it usually either we do a live show or we'll do a pre-record. So yeah, please check that out. And I'll do random streams. I may even do a random game stream tonight if I feel like it. So
what game?
Probably some retro games. So
My favorite.
Yeah, because I do like the retro games. I finally got my emulating stuff back up, so I'm gonna probably get with that. So I do that. I need to get my 64 stuff. I used to have a stream where I was playing Mario 64, and it was damn near like a podcast because I'm still playing the game, but we talk about whatever. So that's kind of a cool element. So if you haven't checked my channel out, please give me a sub. I'd appreciate it. If you don't, that's cool too. It's a lot. It's a ton of shit out here in these days. 24-hour video surveillance. Your own candy camera, Death by Saber.
All right, so thanks, Vigilante. Before he plants the bomb in this building,
Yay.
I do not condone what Death by Saber is about to do here. Death by Saber, don't do anything.
Yeah, I do my.
Don't do anything.
No,
don't do anything
well, I won't do anything.
Nothing
I won't
drastic,
do anything
please.
that I know I'll get caught. I only do things where I know for sure I won't get caught. Disclaimer. Anyways, I come every Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I do my Star Wars and Hose show, Hose spelled H-O-S-E. Come join me. We review clips of what's going on, current events, and we have a discussion. All are welcome. Even that cunt Jens can come on.
Yeah, don't go on. Do that fucking showing.
I put the link in the chat. And people that don't like me are welcome, and they could tell me how much I suck. It's okay. I allow it. I don't censor anybody. I don't censor anyone. You're all welcome to come on and promote your channel.
Yeah. I love talking to you.
Thank
You're
you.
the man.
I like you too, Slasher.
Clown World, Optic Racer, Ghouls. Sorry for the problem before where I accidentally blocked you trying to get this fucking private dating chat girl's asshole of the stream.
Oh, poo.
My friend Fester, Henny, a name I didn't never saw here before. Thank you for coming through. Shifty Gizm, thank you for coming through. Cinema Gulp, thank you for coming through. And Ancient One, thank you for coming through. And have a good night, folks.
Arrivederci.
Good
Hey!